Hello everyone, it is Wargame Wednesday. As always, I am Zaruk Windcaller, your guardian, your remembrancer, and your arbiter. As you can probably no doubt hear, the music is kind of cheery and patriotic in the background. Today is Radio General. Now, ordinarily, had we stuck to the whole Tactics Tuesday, Warlord Wednesday thing, we would have gone back to Unity of Command. But I've decided to do something a little bit different. I've decided that Wednesdays are going to be focused on various games that I think that are military or war related, but are actually really interesting and deserve a lot more respect or attention. This is one of them. Radio General, which is a spin-off of Radio Commander, is a game that is entirely focused on putting you in charge of a military force with only a radio and some maps. Hello Mel, hello Eclipse, hello Yoko, hello Cheshire. I hope everyone's doing great. I've been doing really good. I got a job offer today, so I am ecstatic. Yeah, I am really happy. So yeah, and yes, I know about Nobunaga's Ambition. I may play that at some point, but who knows. But regardless, yes, we will be commanding the Canadian forces throughout a good chunk of their military time in World War II. And I will be doing it entirely with a microphone. So, with that, I will waste your time no longer. Let's get going. So this is the game. As you can see, it's a very historical piece. And we are going to be starting a new campaign. We're not gonna use the NATO symbols because I actually like having the figurines. We are gonna have units become under strength and exhausted if we overuse them. We are gonna do the tutorial. I've turned on voice options and I'm turning the realism to normal because if the realism is on low, it basically means that the AI does everything for me, and that kind of defeats the purpose. So, September 3rd, 1939, Britain and France declare war on Nazi Germany after the invasion of Poland. Britain calls upon its vast Commonwealth to aid them in the war. Canada answers the call, sending thousands of sailors, airmen, and soldiers. You are a general in the Canadian Army, having just arrived in Britain with fresh reinforcements. Your job is to lead hundreds of men into battle and triumph over a determined enemy. All you have is a radio and a map. Your job will not be easy. This game uses historical documents and videos to provide context and tell the stories of soldiers who fought in the conflict.
On December 17, 1939, the first Canadians landed in Britain, vanguard of a great army. They came to finish the job that their fathers had begun a quarter of a century before. In June 1940 came the first call to action. In high spirits, they marched to the ships on their way to France, itching for a fight. Once across the Channel, the Canadians penetrated more than 200 miles. But with the tragic collapse of France came the order to return to Britain. In the dark days after Dunkirk, almost the only trained and equipped troops between Hitler and London were General MacNaughton's Canadians, who stood guard throughout those days of high tension. While hurricanes swept the sky, Canadian ack-ack batteries blazed at the Luftwaffe from the ground, playing their part in the Battle of Britain. And now the Canadians are preparing to rip through the Huns when the Allied War Council gives the signal for the cross-channel dash on the road to Berlin. The Canadians are ready. 0 hour is coming.
Those are actual newsreels, by the way. All right. 1942. The Dieppe Raid. Stalin has demanded a second front be opened. Canadian officers are eager to prove the worth of the Canadian Army. A daring raid on the French port town of Dieppe is ready. We attack in the morning. So, As this is one of my streams, a little bit of history. It's 1942. The war for the Allies is very grim. North Africa has been a back-and-forth battle. The Americans have technically only been involved for a short amount of time, and the Allies need some kind of victory. So, as the newsreel said, a lot of the only trained men available right now are the Canadians. So, the plan for a daring raid on the French town of Dieppe is organized. The Dieppe raid is basically a simple plan. It's land men ashore, do some damage, get back on the boats, and leave. That's it. It was supposed to be easy. I say again, though, it was supposed to be easy. But things like that never are. So, hello, Rainbow. August 19th, 1942, Dieppe, France. So here we got a bunch of cool documents. These are actual things, by the way, except for this one. Welcome to Dieppe. Location, northern France, in the province of Normandy. Features a historic port town, seaside resort, Pebble Beach, white chalky cliffs, a heavily fortified coast with barbed wire, mines, traps, and pillboxes. Perfect for the family to visit. Named for its deep water, the town was used for fishing historically. During the Age of Exploration, Dieppe was known for its skilled cartographers and navigators. Prior to both World Wars, Dieppe was popularized as a seaside resort. Dieppe is a strategic target in wartime due to its port and strategic location in the English Channel. Now, for any of you who are Canadian, you're going to love this. These are actual historical pieces. You slept well that night, didn't you? But George was at Dieppe. Work, save, and lend for victory. This color advertisement depicting a group of soldiers at Dieppe was published in the October 10th, 1942 issue of the Toronto Star Weekly. Newspaper headline following the radio broadcast on September 9th of 1939. On September 10th, a day later, the Globe and Mail reports that Canada officially declares war on Germany, marking it the first declaration of war on another sovereign power in Canada's history. Personal landing craft draw away from a motor torpedo boat to start their run into the beaches. Canadian troops embarking in landing craft during training exercises. The landing craft en route for Operation Jubilee, which is the name of the operation, by the way. And infantrymen of the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders of Canada going ashore during Operation Jubilee. So, these are our historical documents, but like I said, things are never that easy. With the Eastern Front going poorly, Stalin has demanded the opening of a second front. Canadian officers are eager to prove their worth of the Canadian Army and are prepared to bring the fight to the Germans. A daring raid on the French port town of Dieppe is ready. Canadian, British, and American forces attack in the morning. To achieve complete surprise, no preemptive bombardment will be used. We expect the enemy to be unprepared and their defenses weak. Our troops will push inland, take the town, and fall back to the boats after the allotted time. This will be a decisive show of force and show the Germans that we mean business. You will command the flanks of the operation. Several commando units have landed behind enemy lines. You must silence enemy guns and prevent any enemy reinforcements from reaching Dieppe. Intel report. Enemy strength. Battalion. 200 to 400 light infantry. 1 artillery battery. And no tanks. Enemy positions. The high chalky cliffs limit landable beach areas. With low enemy numbers, they will most likely only be defending Dieppe itself. Advice. Stay calm. Move quickly. Follow your instructions. And our units include 2 commando units and the naval guns of Her Majesty's Canadian ship Saskatchewan, which will arrive at 9 in the morning. All right, and our mission is hold Dieppe and hold Neuville. We can look at the map in a minute, I think. Welcome to your first operation. Please read the mission briefing. I've already done that. Will you use voice commands? Yes, I will. When ready, hold spacebar, say start mission. Okay? And yes, I will be doing this entirely by voice, so if I start panicking, you'll know. Start mission.
You here. You heard the General. Move out.
Pan the camera. Okay. Move. Yep, zoom in and out. You are a general sitting in a tent. Your units are in France and are far away from you. An infantry company named Abel has infiltrated enemy lines. However, since Abel's far away from you, you can't interact with him directly. This figurine represents Abel. It is not the unit itself. However, it can be used to send orders to Abel. You can right-click their stats by right-clicking on the figurine. Let's see. And clicking unit stats. Here you go. Yep, they're good. Commandos. Voice commands are activated by holding the spacebar. Try this now. Okay. Abel, report status.
Able here. We're at November 9.
So they're over here. We put them on the map. Figurines pulse when correctly positioned near their actual unit, and this grants minor combat bonuses.
Charlie here. Our landing craft has reached the beaches and we're about to disembark. Wish us luck. Able here. We can see artillery at location 2. Charlie here. Get to a foxhole. Don't move until the barrage lets up.
You need to silence those guns. Abel, move to location 2.
Able here. Roger. Moving to location 2. Able here. We're engaging an enemy artillery battery. Let's silence those guns. Battery is out of commission. Charlie here. Resistance on the beach is much heavier than expected. We're pinned down. We won't be able to move forward until our tanks have landed. Able here. Got eyes on infantry at Aquila Batalla.
Aquila Batalla holds a dominant position overlooking a bridge and is vital to coming off enemy reinforcements. Abel, move to location 1.
Able here. Moving out to Aquila Batalla. They'll be expecting us.
Units move in straight lines to nearby locations, but take the roads to distant locations. Yeah, they're shooting back.
Hold up in that hotel. Spread out in advance.
Come on, boys. Yeah, we're breaking. We can't hold. Hold it. So you guys can see over there, their morale is at 18% because they can't get into the town. So we'll have to take care of that. Yep, they must recover and regroup before receiving orders again. We need more troops. The briefing clipboard lists available reserves. Deploy reserve infantry.
HQ here, deploying reserve infantry. Infantry, company, reporting for duty. We'll be Baker. We are at Curly, 11. It always comes down to the infantry.
All right, let's try a flank. Let's try to surround these guys.
We've arrived at your 10. Able here. Everyone calm down at fight 9.
All right. Abel, Baker, move to location 1.
Baker here. Stay frosty, everyone. Heading to Aquila Batalla. We've started infantry at Aquila Batalla.
We got him flanked. Defense is lowered when flanked. Always attack in multiple directions. Yep. And this is the tough part, having to just watch the map and hope, because again, most of the time we won't see, for the rest of the game, we won't see these stats. So we just have to hope and pray that our guys get through this.
That's where that came from! Bakersfield, Aguilabatay is under new management.
Nice.
Able here. We're here at Aguilabatay. Charlie here. Damn it. Half our tanks have landed, but the treads can't get traction on these damn beaches. We need more time.
The beach landings are going poorly, but we have problems of our own. Enemy reinforcements are the way, and we must defend both roads. Baker, move to Hotel 10.
Bakersfield, headed to Hotel 10. Bakersfield, arrived at Hotel 10.
Abel, Baker, dig in.
Bakersfield, hostiles coming right up.
Now we gotta dig in. Foxholes provide defense, so it's a good idea to fortify strategic locations. We have some spare time while the men dig. Why not read the officer manual? Yep. Terrain and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so we need to hold this position while the guys get off the beach. If they get off the beach. I love they have the effect that if you take a drink of wine, your vision gets all blurry, which is great.
Bakersfield, we're done digging. Use a break. HQ here. Enemy reinforcements are arriving from the south.
We got reinforcements, enemy reinforcements coming in.
Charlie here. Those panzers? There aren't supposed to be any panzers here. You can't let them reach the beaches, or it'll be even more of a massacre.
Yeah, there weren't supposed to be tanks, yet here they come. Yeah, that's right, Mel. But these are commandos.
Got a visual on tanks. Those tanks are oblivious to us. On the vehicles are skills up. Take for the friend.
We don't have anti-tank weapons. At least nothing effective. Oh, dear God.
Down. Here they come. Enemy in the tree line. Aim for the muzzle flashes.
You guys better get on that beach. Abel, Baker, retreat.
Baker, grab the wounded and let's go. HQ here. Intel reports the enemy has captured Al-Qabatai.
Okay. Abel, report status. Oh, shit. Baker, report status. Oh, come on. They can't be dead. Abel, Baker, report status. Oh, fuck me. How? There was like 50 guys left in each company. What happened? Abel, report status.
Charlie, enemy panzers are overrunning the beachhead. We gotta pull back. Get as many wounded out of here as you can and get back to the boat. HQ here. All units are to withdraw. Destroyers will provide supporting fire to cover your retreat. Naval guns at the HMCS Saskatchewan here. You can call us, talk. Let's get to work.
Fox, fire, barrage, act. India, 4.
Fox here. Raining thunder down on India. 4. Fox here. Yeah, that was a direct hit.
Fox, fire, barrage at Juliet, 4.
Fox here. Roger. Dropping shells on Juliet. 4.
See if you can't damage the tanks. Fire got some time.
Fox here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
Fox, fire, barrage at Hotel 3.
Fox here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at Hotel 3. Fox here. I'm getting reports that did some real damage.
Fox, fire barrage at Kilo 3.
Can't delay any longer. The ships are pulling out. Gotta help those who left behind.
We've evacuated all the troops we can. Any left behind will have to surrender and sit the war out.
Charlie here. You win some, you lose some. This war isn't over yet. HQ, your time is up and the operation is over. All units sign out.
And at the end of the mission, your guys will call in if they're still there, but we lost both of those units.
Fox here. Artillery battery still operational. Where's our next target?
So, soldiers under your command have been killed, and their families must be notified. It may provide some comfort if you were to write directly to these families. So yeah, the game decides if it wasn't bad enough that you've lost a mission, even if you win, the game's like, okay, now write a letter to the family of the guy you got killed. So, okay. Attention, Mrs. Wright. We regret to inform you of the loss of PTE Bruce Wright. KIA, August, KIA, August 1942. Dieppe was a disaster for the Canadians. More Canadians would be captured in the Dieppe raid than would be for the entire 1944 to 1945 Northwest Europe campaign. A lack of understanding of beach conditions and overestimating the power of surprise tank assaults led to a costly defeat, with fewer than half of the Canadians returning to Britain. The lessons learned from Dieppe would be imperative in the success achieved on D-Day. The addition of heavy firepower support from aircraft and Navy, communication advances, and modifications to tanks and landing craft would make the difference on D-Day. We have more pictures from the front. Prisoners being led through Dieppe. Men who took part in the raid. Let's see. 6 months after Dieppe, the fanfare and smoke had cleared, and most media sources were very clear of the failure of the mission. This article is critical of military reports of Dieppe's success and cautioned a more measured approach. This paper is a complete fabrication of the truth. Since Dieppe's main goals were to give the Canadians action and to raise morale in Europe and among the Allies, even though the raid accomplished none of its military objectives, the papers were able to raise morale anyway. Dieppe proved a very important learning moment for the later staging of D-Day. At the end of the Second World War, a Canadian brewery published this collection of illustrations as a tribute to French Canada's soldiers and the battles they fought. Beauvoir Farm, Casa Berardi, Berners-Saumur, Hill 195, Dieppe, Etavaux, Inchville, the Normandy landings, Neuvillette, San Martino, and Termoli. And Tank Landing Number 4, the Canadian Army Newsreel.
Like all the rest of the Canadian Army, the 1st Army Tank Brigade is going to see these days. For combined ops is the order of the day, and no amount of training can be too great. There must be perfect cooperation with the Navy, and an understanding of the problems facing the men who bring the landing craft to the assault beaches. As the LCTs approach the beach, the ramps are lowered and the tanks prepare to move ashore. These are Churchill, the tanks that landed at Dieppe. In one glorious day of battle, they gained valuable experience that helped make the landings in North Africa successful. Dieppe was a great combined ops proving ground. And remember, Jerry, next time we go to stay.
And don't forget, newsreels like that would be shown in, like, movie theaters and stuff. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, training operation. Dieppe has proved far more training is needed before we're ready to face the Germans again. Field exercises are performed under more realistic conditions where you can't see your units. Topics include units getting lost, reoriented, being out of communication, spotting and tagging enemies, radio channels, and artillery. Alright, time for some training. September 3rd, 1942. Aldershot, England. Welcome to Aldershot, home of the Heathland, home of the British Army, close to London. Named for the many alder trees in the area, Aldershot became the first permanent military training base for the British Army in 1854. This has facilitated rapid expansion and growth to the population in the area, from 875 in 1851 to 16,000 by 1861. During the First World War, it became Britain's largest army camp, with 20% of the British Army being based in and around the town. During the Second World War, about 330,000 Canadian troops passed through Aldershot for training, with additional units following afterwards. Let's see. War Emergency Training Classes Certificate, Machine Fitting. The Youth Training Act of 1939 enacted the War Emergency Training Program of 1940 to 1946 to provide technical training for individuals in the armed service and war industries. War Emergency Training Classes Certificate in Machine Fitting to J. Oshaway, Windsor Walkerville Vocational School, 1st of May, 1942. The UK War Office produced and issued a series of short training manuals used by both the British and Canadian armies. Collectively, these manuals established the doctrine or tactical procedures for both armies throughout the war. This 1944 manual on the tactics of small units reflected the experience gained in North Africa and Italy. Good grief. Again, look how in-depth this is. You can read this if you want to. This is why this game is so cool. This was an indie project. These guys worked with museums, with historical societies. All this is real. So these are all real. This is a real manual that you can read. Good Lord, how long is it? Wow. Wow. Is this the whole book? Yeah, there's over 130 pages in this thing. And of course, we've just got training photos. Alright, got another newsreel. Let's see.
You've got to be tough to take the new kind of war, and one of the jobs of the battle wing at CTS is to make the Canadian Army that way. The obstacle course plays its part in getting officers and men into prime condition. And it's no small part either. You can take it or leave it, but you can't leave it. You've just got to take it. Careful now, Joe, or you'll be caught with them down.
I was about to say, lower your ass, man. You're an easy target. Alright. Will you use voice commands? Yes. Let's see. One infantry, enemy strength, one infantry company, and one tank squad. Enemy tank reinforcements expected to arrive from the crossroads in the afternoon. We are unsure which town they will attack. Baker was last seen on a road going through the western forest. Alright. Let's see. We've got some light infantry scouts. An artillery battery. And some Royal Canadian anti-tank guns. Alright. I'd like to see the map, if that's okay. Alright. Start mission.
You here. Right away, sir. Starting operation.
Unlike the previous tutorial, you cannot see your units.
Princess Patricia Light Infantry. Scouts reporting in as call sign Able. Could someone come find us? Someone drop the map.
Able report status.
Able here. We're lost, but we can see a road 1 kilometer south of us and a hill 1 kilometer northeast of us.
1 kilometer south and 1 kilometer northeast. Able, head south.
Able here. Got it. Moving south. Able here. Oh, so that's where we are. We're at Kilo 6.
Alright. Baker, report status. Baker's radio must be broken. It will regain contact with... You must... unit with working radios moves near them. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Able, move to Hotel 5.
Able here. Alright, heading to grid Hotel 5.
Move Able to Baker's last known location. Their last known location was on a road going through the western forest. So... Able, move to Golf 5.
Able here, headed to Golf 5. Baker here. Radios are back up. We sure miss the sound of your voice. We're at Foxtrot 5.
Got him. Alright.
Able here. Where's your at Golf 5?
Alright, cool.
HQ here. Locals are claiming enemy troops have moved into location 1.
Able, move to location 1.
Able here. Consider location 1 to be ours. Able here. Got eyes on infantry at location 1.
Alright, tag. So, the point of tagging units is to basically know what you're up against. Your guys, when your units report contact, if you're quick, you can tag it, which will put a figurine up for you. At the end of a mission, you will be asked, hey, what did you come into contact with? And with that, we can basically determine how big the enemy force was, and we can get some bonus experience by guessing correctly. So we know that there's an infantry force in the first location. We've only got scouts here. Scouts are not going to win a fight against an infantry company, so we're going to have to use the artillery. Yep. Baker, fire barrage at location 1.
Baker, artillery firing at Juliet.
Oh no!
Able here. Lost sight of Alligator. They were last. Baker here. Apartment was on target.
Able, move to location 1.
Able here. You can count on us to capture location 1.
Alright, let's move this over here for the time being. They lost sight of the enemy, so...
Able here. Location 1 is ours now.
Alright, enemy tanks will be coming from the bottom route, which we're unsure... Able, move to location 3.
Able here. Roger. Moving to location 3.
Deploy reserve anti-tank guns.
HQ here. Reserve anti-tank guns. Coming right up. Royal Canadian anti-tank guns. Reporting for duty. We'll be Charlie. We're at Foxtrot 3. Ready to knock out some panzers. Charlie here.
Okay.
Able here. Arrived at.
We've paused the game. It's important to pay attention to the radio on the left. A flashing light means a unit is transmitting on that radio channel. The channel changes automatically for urgent messages, but not for non-urgent messages. Able here. We can see tanks at Oscar 7 heading west. Alright, so they're heading to location 2. Got it. Charlie, move to location 2.
Charlie here. Will hold. Location 2. For ya.
Alright. Done. Let's get those anti-tank guns into position.
Able here. Got a visual on there at Oscar 7 heading west.
Alright. I'd really rather not, so let's just get these guys into position. So the scouts are up on top of the mountain, or the hill, and can see this tank unit moving.
Able here. Spotted there at Juliet 7 heading west. Charlie here. We're here at location 2. Able here. No longer seen there. They were last seen at Charlie here. Any time in the town or the distance of the town.
Baker, fire at Golf 7.
Baker here. Thunder down on Golf 7.
That should help the anti-tank guns out.
Baker here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful.
Baker, fire barrage at Golf 7.
Baker here. Roger. Dropping shells on Golf 7. Baker here. Yeah! That was a direct hit!
Well, I didn't say stop. Baker, fire barrage at Golf 7.
Baker here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at Golf 7. Charlie here. You lost visuals on air. You're last seen at Hotel 7. Heading home. East. Able here. That's right. Run! The war won't last much longer as battles like that. HQ here. We're done here. Unit leaders report for debriefing.
Yeah,
Able
Eclipse,
here.
I know,
Full
right?
strength. Maybe we'll get some action next time. Baker here. We'll have to give these guns a thorough cleaning after they cool down. Charlie here. Those sound replacements keep getting killed.
Both locations held. Let's see. All right. War is utter chaos, and the idea of training is to give soldiers instinctual reactions in order to make them effective and preserve their lives. Infantrymen would learn down, crawl, observe, fire as a reactionary response for when they came under enemy attack. Training also included desensitization training. Live ammunition and artillery was fired all around them. They were made to run obstacle courses littered with blood and animal entrails in order to accustom them to the sight of gore. Mock battles also featured live ammunition in order for the soldiers to take it more seriously. People sometimes got wounded or hospitalized. Soldiers were pushed well beyond their limits. The training would pay off, thankfully, as international armies fought alongside or against Canadians. Their resourceful, professional, and tenacious nature was well reported. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The Germans, everyone would go on to say that some of the scariest people to fight against in World War II were the Canadians. Because if the Americans couldn't do it, or the British couldn't do it, you called the Canadians. They would do it. Yeah, it is a very stressful game, Cheshire, but you get used to it over time. We got little girl. Oh, yeah, about the replacement program. Unidentified members of the Canadian Women's Army Corps, or CWAC, prepared to disembark from a troop ship. Negotiating an assault training course. Using a Bofors anti-air gun. The Highland Light Infantrymen of Canada, armed with a Bren Light machine gun and a sniper rifle. Bullshit, that's a sniper rifle. Where's the scope on it? All right. Well, on to Sicily, 1943. Battle of Pacino Airfield. The Allies land in Sicily. The nearby airfield and towns must be taken, but friendly reinforcements are slow to arrive. Naval artillery support is used to beat off a large counterattack. Let's see. Let's go. July 10th, 1943. Pacino, Sicily, Italy. Welcome to Pacino. Location on the Mediterranean coast, Sicily. Features sunny and windy, many beaches, lots of fish, and developed agriculture. The Canadians were greeted by a sunny expanse of beach at Pacino. With over 8 kilometers of beach, Pacino remains a popular tourist spot to the present day. It is known for its abundant fishing and agriculture, focusing on the production of tomatoes and wine. Alright, so this is kind of funny. If you guys have ever played Fallout 4, you probably noticed those portable bomb shelters. Here's where that came from. A separate section of the Fighting Forces Gum Card series and the American World in Arms series on which it was based was reserved for a hodgepodge of different weapons. Flamethrowers, British death-dealing balloon barrage, landing Russian air infantry, the new Garand automatic rifle, the British portable steel air raid shelter, gas raid rescue squads, streams of torpedoes, and devastating Martin Barlow aerial bombs. Here's the stream of torpedoes card. Canadians in Sicily. Is that Montgomery? Huh. J.L. Ralston speaking to the troops. Ready for the day? Why not? Let's check out this newsreel.
Canadian-built Rams of the Three Rivers and Calgary Tank Regiments board their LCTs in preparation for another big landing exercise. Final waterproofing is completed to protect crews and engines, so that as the craft approach the enemy coast and the ramps go down, the tanks can practically tackle a submarine. The chief danger seems to be jellyfish getting caught in the works. Hit by an enemy shell, it's the waterproofing being deliberately blown clear of the tank, leaving it ready for immediate action. And when Canadian armor goes into action as the spearhead of the attack we've waited for so long, there'll be few problems which haven't been studied ahead, and no obstacles that won't be beaten with the help of Providence, Canadian ingenuity, and good shooting.
All right. So, each mission requires you to fill unit slots. Left click and drag units to unfilled slots. Read the briefing and pick the right units for the job. All right. The invasion of Sicily has begun. The Canadians form the left flank of 5 British landings spread over 40 miles of shoreline. The landings are to take place near Pacino, close to the southern tip of the island. We must quickly push out from the beach and capture the village of Malchini, and then onto the nearby airfield and Pacino itself. Due to our surprise landing, initial enemy garrison units are likely under strength and should be no match for our infantry. Hopefully, we can overrun the garrison before the 122nd Italian Coastal Infantry Regiment can muster a counterattack. You will be receiving naval gun support later in the day to beat off any counterattacks. Due to delays, we've only landed one infantry company at the moment. Additional infantry reinforcements should arrive within the next few hours. Alright, so hold Pacino and hold Pacino Airfield. I don't like this. I already don't like this. But we'll do what we can. Battalions, enemy strength, battalion, 3 to 700 light infantry. Italian coastal divisions generally act as reserves and thus are poorly equipped and have lower morale. Got a tornado warning? Alright, keep an eye on it. One company garrisoned at the airfield. Unknown if Pacino itself is garrisoned. Enemy reinforcements expected to come from the North Road. So, this one, okay? So they'll come to Pacino. Got it. Advice. Take Malchini and be cautious when approaching the airfield in Pacino. You may want to wait until reinforcements arrive. Remember to flank and surround enemies in defensive positions to minimize their defenses. And don't be shy of using your naval artillery support when you receive it. They have plenty of ammo. Alright. So, let's take a look at our guys here. Conservative. Don't waste any ammo. They lose 0.3 kilometers of attack range, but they gain 15% defense. Okay? So, a good defensive unit. Alright? What do we got here? Defensive. A nice cozy spot. They gain 20 defense, but lose 30% damage. Ugh. Ugh. And these are infantrymen. Alright? Popular. A break? Why, yes. What a splendid idea. Alright. Gains 30% morale, but loses 30% movement speed. Cautious. Have the scouts returned yet? Gains 4 kilometers in slight sight range, but loses 20% in damage. And then finally, too far away? I disagree. Open fire. Gains 0.4 kilometer attack range and loses 30% damage. Ugh, some of these are horrible. Alright, I do want these guys. The conservative, they may lose attack range, but they get better defense. I like that. We have the defensive force, who have better defense, but do less damage. The cautious force, which is, they lose 20% damage and have better sight range. I want infantry, not scouts. I do like the popular guys. They move slower, but having that extra morale would be nice. So, I think, let's see. I think I'm going to make you guys my reserves. Actually, no. Well, yeah, we're going to make you guys the reserves, so we can call you in if we need you. Alright, we need to take the airfield, and we need to take Pacino. Yes, this is Radio General. Yep. Alright. Wait till you see the voice command stuff. That's the best part. Alright. So, we need... Obviously, we're going to need defensive units, so... Let's call upon the... Oh, wait. These are the... That's the, I grabbed the conservative guys. No, you're my starting group. The popular guys are my reserve, and then for reinforcements, let's go with... Actually, no. Better idea. Popular guys are my reinforcements, and my reserves that I'm going to call in are... Let's go with the defensive unit. We can dig them in somewhere, and then they're never going to break. I'll probably assign them to the town. They do less damage, sure, but holding the town will give them a great advantage. So, they're my reserves. Hold on. Okay, I'm very confused. Why are you not letting me, Okay, why'd you take away my thing? Like, I'm allowed to, like, get all of them, right? So why are you, like, saying no? Okay, hold on. Conservative. I want the defensive guys as my reserve, and then I want my, There we go. That's better. Okay. We're ready.
Need more Highlanders infantry here. You can call us Able. We're at Foxtrot 9. Riflemen, ready to do our part.
Alright, if I recall correctly, let's see. Right, you're the guys who specialize in defensive action, so got it. It may be useful to plan troop movements before the mission starts. Right-click on the colored pencils on the left of the map. On the left to draw on the map. Okay. Let's see. There we go. So, plan is thus. Our reinforcements are going to land here. I'll call up my reserves as soon as we take Malchini. We move in, secure Malchini, then the reserves and this group march. I'll leave one group here. Actually, no. From here, both groups march northeast. We take Malchini, because it did say we didn't know if it would be occupied or not. If it is, we take it. If not, we dig in. Well, regardless, we're going to be digging in. The defensive unit holds here. Hopefully by that time, our reinforcements will have arrived, like here. And then we simply push in and take the airfield from 2 directions. Now, I'm not blind. As it said, enemy counterattacks will be coming from this direction, from the northern road. So we need to make sure that that defensive unit is dug in and ready to beat off any attack that comes this way. So I'm going to need to really make some tight defenses here. At that point, once we've secured the airfield, we can set up some better defenses, and if need be, I can transfer more guys over to Pacino. But the main objectives are hold Pacino and hold the airfield. It doesn't matter if we lose Malchini. We just need these 2 points. So, right.
HQ here, deploying reserve infantry. 28 Highlanders infantry reporting in the school time. Charlie, we're at Kilo 9. We're headed to Juliet 8. Boots on the ground. Win wars.
Right. So you guys are... Yep, the defensive unit. So, as I said, this unit, Charlie marches north. It's a long march, but hopefully they can get there in time. We will march Charlie north to Lima, to maybe around Lima 6 or Lima 5. Probably Lima 6. Able takes Malchini, meets up at Juliet 5, and then we attack Pacino. Take the place, and then go from there. Simple. Simple enough, really. Yes, Cataclysm, this has voice command. I'll show you. A drink of wine and a quick smoke to steady the nerves, like Mel said. All right. Start mission.
Here, Roger. Mission is a go.
Able, move to location 2.
Able here. Hold up. We're attacking. Charlie here. We've arrived at Juliet 8.
Charlie, move to Lima 6.
Charlie here. Moving to Grid Lima 6. Charlie here. We're here at Lima 6.
All right, good.
Able here. Planting the flag at Foxini.
Able, move to Grid Juliet 5.
Able here. Moving to Juliet 5. Able here. Spotted infantry at India 5. Heading right for us. Able here. Don't let them into the town. Keep that perimeter intact.
Charlie, move to Juliet 6.
Charlie here. Juliet 6. It is.
All right, let's flank the bastards. Got him. Got him in a crossfire.
They're running with their tails between their legs.
Charlie, move to Lima 6.
Charlie here, Lima 6. It is.
Abel, move to Juliet 5.
Abel here, headed to Juliet 5. Abel here, we are here at Juliet 5. Infantry company reporting for duty. We'll be Baker. We're at Charlie 7. Why do we infantry always get this?
Baker, move to Echo 6.
Baker, Charlie here. We've arrived at Lima 6. Baker here. We're here at Echo 6.
Abel, move to Pacino.
Abel here.
Charlie, move to Pacino.
Pacino.
Charlie, move to Location 1.
Charlie here. Roger. Heading to Pacino.
Baker, move to Foxtrot 5.
Baker here. Roger. Moving to Foxtrot 5. Baker here. We've arrived at Foxtrot 5.
For the blood god!
Charlie here. We've captured Pacino.
Charlie, dig in. Charlie, dig in. Charlie, dig in.
Charlie here. Grab yourselves, boys. We're digging in.
Abel, move to India 3.
Abel here. All right. Heading to grid India 3.
Once they're in range, we attack.
Able here. Spotted. Alligator at Juliet 1. Heading west.
Are they now?
Able here. Got eyes on infantry at Pacino Airfield.
Baker, move to Location 3.
Baker here.
Abel, move to Location 3.
Able here. Control tower at Pacino Airfield. I want it captured intact. Finger fire is coming from that hangar. Swing wide around it. Able here. One. Charlie here. Fox holds our dog. Let's get going. Able here. Pacino Airfield is under new management.
Okay. Nice.
Hey, Baker, here. We lost visuals on air. Your last team at Echo 1. Heading northwest. Able here. There's more where that came from.
Okay. Baker, dig in. Dig in.
Able here. Lost sight of alligator. They were last seen. Baker, here. We're here at Pacino Airfield.
Baker, dig in.
Baker, here. Take these boys. They might save your life.
Abel, dig in. All right. Abel, dig in. Dig in. Come on. Abel, dig in. Abel, dig in. I had it. Abel, dig in.
Able here. Muscle coming right up.
Okay. Now we just need to hold. We'll have naval artillery in a minute.
Baker, here. We can see air at Echo 2. Heading southeast. Baker, here. Only spots over enough to keep us alive. Baker, here. Charlie, here. We've formed a perimeter on the outskirts of town and are firing and approaching infantry. Delta 2, heading west. Charlie, that's right. Run, you coward. Charlie here. We've lost visuals on Alligator. They were last seen at Lima 1, heading north.
How much longer, and then we get naval gun support. I've had one. I'm worried. That was just 2 infantry groups, but there's supposed to be a massive attack coming later. We'll have naval gun support, but still. We'll see how this goes. We've beaten off 2 of the attacks, which is good, but they'll be back.
Able here, last saw. There, at Delta 2, heading west.
Yeah, they're probably long gone by now. Yep, here comes a counterattack.
Charlie here. We're at Chino.
Charlie. Report status.
Charlie here. We're at Chino. Naval guns at the HMCS Saskatchewan. Here. You can call us Dog. The boy HQ here. Informants have told us the enemy is captured Mauchini.
That's fine. We don't need it. Our objectives are to hold these positions. If they want that territory so freaking badly, they can have it. They won't hold it for long. And I'm certainly not moving off of these positions.
Enemy reinforcements are arriving from the north.
Yep. There they come. That's what the guns are for. Let's see. 10 seconds. So if these destroyer guns are what all they're worth, they don't have an ammo limit, so we're just going to shoot, and shoot some more.
Able here. Got it. Infantry at India 1. Heading right for us.
Copy that.
Able Charlie here. We can see. Got a visual on. Here and Kilo 6. Heading right for us. Charlie, use the Avastaris to get some height at them.
Dog, fire barrage at Kilo 5.
Dog here. Artillery firing at Salt 5.
I said Kilo 5, you idiot.
Dog here. Barrage is off target. Please recheck your coordinates.
Dog, fire barrage at Kilo 5.
Dog here. Raining thunder down on Kilo 5. Dog here. And a miss. Are you sure the enemy is there?
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 2.
Dog here. Roger. Dropping shells on Lima 2. One of them is running for the hills. They're running with their tails between their legs. Dog here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates. Taker, here. We lost sight of Vita. Your last seen at Juliet 1. Heading east. Charlie here. We won this engagement. Charlie here.
Just gotta keep holding on.
HQ here. The operation's nearly over.
So far, I count 4 infantry units. But we need to hold. So I've got to have that artillery on standby if they come back.
Charlie here. We last saw Dingo at Lima 1 heading north.
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 1.
Dog here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at Lima 1. Dog here. We wiped out an entire infantry company.
Nice. We got one.
Dog here. I'm getting reports that did some real damage. Able here. I don't see any of them moving. I think those enemy infantry are toast. Charlie here. Get our line mortar online and start shutting that concentration.
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 2.
Dog here. Artillery firing at Lima 2. Charlie here. There's more where that come from. Dog here. Bombardment was on target. Charlie here. We can no longer see Cheetah. Got eyes on Dingo and Kilo 1 heading right for us. Charlie here. We last saw Cheetah and
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 1.
Dog here. Raining thunder down on Lima 1. Charlie here. Infantry moving to engage. Squad. Remember to move. Shoot. And communicate. Dog here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful. Charlie here. Got a visual on.
Dog, fire barrage at Lima 2.
Right for us. Dog here. Roger. Dropping shells on Lima 2.
How do you like that?
Able here. It's a full-blown rout. The enemy's all running. HQ here. That's a wrap. All units dig in and wait till relief.
Alright, how
Able here. There's a few losses, but it could have been worse.
you should be estimating the enemy strength arrayed
Anchor
against
here.
you.
Got a light beaten. Nothing too serious.
Fought 4 infantry
Charlie
units.
here. Took a few losses, but it could have been worse. Dog here. We'll have to give these guns a thorough cleaning after they cool down.
Courageous units can be awarded a medal. Drag the medal on the left onto a deserving unit. Well, that's easy. It goes to Charlie, because they held the line. Of course, yeah, we wiped out Alligator, and we did a lot of damage to the other ones. Alright. Nice. Next. Operation Husky, July 10th, 1943. The 1st Canadian Infantry Division and the 1st Canadian Armored Brigade began the amphibious invasion of Sicily, Operation Husky. The mission went exceedingly well, as many Sicilians were tired of fighting. Those that did resist were quickly overwhelmed as the Canadians took control of Pacino's airport. Sicilian surrender followed willingly and en masse as German troops hastily fortified key strategic positions in order to fight a defensive retreat, a strategy which was repeatedly seen throughout the Italian campaign. Landing fairly easy for Canadian invaders, losses reported low. Private Joe Pakukis of the Loyal Edmonton Regiment standing at the grave of an Italian soldier. Let's see. Oklahoma native Claude Weaver joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, became an ace, was shot down in Italy, and escaped from a German prison camp. Leigh and Lois Smith War, Memory, and Popular Culture Research Collection. That's actually pretty cool. Alright. Alright. Next up, the Battle of Valgarnera. Yeah. After a night march through ridges and mountains, one unit has become lost, and we have lost communication with another. Enemy panzers are on the way, and the town of Garnera, I'm just going to call it Val Guarnera, must be taken before morning. All right. The plane pilot, I'll have to go back and Weaver. That's it. Weaver was his name. Weaver. An Oklahoma native who fought with the Canadian Air Force. And became an ace, too, it says. Welcome to Val Guarnera. Over 500 meters above sea level, Val Guarnera would have made an impressive defensive position, offering both a stunning panoramic view and superior terrain advantage. The area had experienced rapid growth in the century preceding the war, the population tripling from 5,000 to 15,000 in the second half of the 19th century. This was due to the further development of agriculture and industry, with advanced sulfur extraction and the production of cooked products. Attaque sur tous les fronts. Attack on all fronts. NC and STL, flat car with World War II tanks. Those are Lee's, M3 Lee tanks. I can tell by the 75mm sponson. Periodic amendments were made to the Field Service Pocketbook, a kind of military manual typically carried by officers. This one concerned the proper use of radios in the field. How long is it? Not long, actually. Wow. Okay. Background to Victory in Europe. Our War in Europe, the Financial Post. April 5th, 1945. Basically showing everything that was put in for the war. Huh. Yeah, Cheshire, the guy broke out of a prison camp, too. He was an ace, got shot down, was held in a German POW camp, and escaped. Alright, time for another newsreel. Newsreel 11, attack.
Of key importance to the success of armored divisions is the work done by the motorized infantry battalions. It is their job to keep the armor moving by seizing and mopping up centers of resistance, and by consolidating and holding features taken by the armored units. With men and carriers moving across country at top speed to reach the point of attack, the Westminster Regiments show just what the job involves. This Westminster assault symbolizes the spirit of attack which dominates the whole Canadian Army. It is an army which has played a long waiting game, but whose turn is close at hand. An army highly trained and highly skilled, ready, willing and able to tackle the big job that lies ahead.
That's not a joke. Like I said earlier, the Germans were scared the Italians and the Germans in the Italian campaign were scared to death of the Canadians. Because again, if the... That's actually really fitting after we just saw that movie reel. Nice job, Yoko. But yes, it should be noted that, yeah, if the Americans couldn't do it and the Brits couldn't do it, the Canadians would do it. And that's not me hyping them up. If the Canadians were told, go do this, the Canadians were like, okay, and they would do it. I mean, remember, Canadians are some of the most kind and friendly people you'll ever meet, but good lord, if they get into a war, they're scary. Alright. Exhausted units perform poorly in combat. Understrength units start with fewer troops. Units not deployed on a mission get a chance to rest, removing both exhausted and understrength effects. So yeah, deployed units become veteran and gain specialization points that can be spent when examining that unit. So yeah, our 3 units from there are exhausted, so we need to let them rest. But we will we'll give them their specialization later. For now, we've got some new units. So, what do we got? Princess Patricia's Light Infantry. This place is perfect for an ambush. Slowly gains camouflage when not moving, and they lose 30% of their movement speed. That's not that bad, actually. I mean, the popular guys move that slowly, too, so that's not bad. We can use them. The Royal Winnipeg Rifles. Let's take them by surprise. Gains 40% camouflage and loses 30% movement speed. Again? Okay, these guys gain it when they're not moving. Okay, The Royal 22nd E Regiment? I don't know what that is. Oh, right, I forgot. I can rename my units. I forgot about that. Well, Mel, are you still here? Yeah, Mel Dragon. We are going to name one of these units after you. So, what would it be? The Queen's Dragon Guard or something? Need a good name to go for you. Yeah, so Mel, what do you want, an infantry or a tank unit? And what would you like me to name it? I'm thinking like the Queen's Dragon Guard. Let's see, rugged. I don't care how tired you are. Get up that hill. Moves uphill 50% faster, but they lose morale. All right, you want the tanks. All right. Unfortunately, we've only got the 3 Rivers tanks. Best to live to fight another day. 20% defense from landmarks, but they lose 30% of their morale. Hold on, what is our objective first? Your infantry has been sent on a night march through the mountains flanking the town of Guarnera. However, these units have become lost and scattered. You must locate and rally them. Unfortunately, the crossroads are heavily defended by 88mm anti-tank guns. We can deploy our own tanks if these are destroyed. Intel reports that Val Guarnera is currently empty. However, enemy panzers will be arriving from the eastern road. You must decide to either clear the crossroads to gain tank reinforcements or head directly to Val Guarnera and dig in. Fighting the panzers will be difficult. Okay, well, Mel wants the tank unit, so I think what we can do is, like, if they're good at digging in or good at landmarks, then we can make them a defensive unit. So, all right, let's see. There we go. The Queen's Dragon Guard, named for Mel. Oh, and I should probably put a thing in here. Hold on. Don't know why that happened. But yeah, so now we know it's Mel's unit. So we will deploy them. They'll be our reinforcements if we can destroy the 88mm tank guns. In the meantime, let's see. Cautious. Have the scouts returned yet? No, let's see. I don't care how tired you are. Get up that hill. Well, there's a lot of hills here. Well, if they move fast up the hill, that might not be a bad idea, actually. Alright. Our objectives are to hold the crossroads, which is here, and hold Val Guarnera. That's where the 88mm guns are. So, I think I'll have these, the fast-moving, the mountain climbers, they're our reserves. We'll call them in if we need them. Let's see. What else we got? Trigger happy. Maybe they would be kind of... I mean, the damage is low, but they can see... They have good range, so that might be coming handy. But I think I'm going to want sneaky units. If we're going to get guys who get lost, I want sneaky units. So let's see. Cautious. Alright, there we go. Okay. That's what we got to work with. Enemy strength. 1 infantry company, anti-tank guns, and panzer reinforcements. These are German regulars we're fighting. Expect them to be the equal of our troops. Infantry and anti-tanks at the crossroads. First, rally your lost and out-of-communication units. Then, clear the crossroads or send all your units to take Val Guarnera. Position infantry in towns and on high terrain when fighting tanks. Remember to flank them. Well. Good news is, we can... Oops. Put those guys back. Good news is we can make use of that. Hold on. Which ones are the ones who, slowly gains camouflage when not moving? Gains 40% camouflage. Yes. And I want the cautious guys because they've got better range. So if we can get the, if we can get these guys up on the mountain, they've got good sight range. We can get them up here and we can see what direction the tanks are coming from. And then we can move to block them. The main thing we need to do is that we need to get our tanks here ASAP. And then get all of our guys into Val Guarnera. We don't have any artillery support. So, yeah. And our objectives are hold Val Guarnera and then hold the crossroads. And for every 2 enemy tank casualties we kill, we get a bonus point, but we lose 1 for every 100 people we lose. So, Panzers will be arriving from the eastern road. So, one of these 2. Alright. Fair enough. Let's just hope the Queen's Dragon Guard can come through for us. If we can get them into Val Guarnera, we'll have a fighting chance.
Royal Winnipeg Rifle, Infantry Company, reporting in. It's call sign Able. I think we're lost.
Confusion reigns tonight. Able is lost. Lost units can be reoriented if they arrive at a road or a landmark. We also lost communication with Baker. Circled on the map is Baker's last known position. Move a unit close to Baker to reestablish contact. Alright. Alright, you guys are not fast, but if I remember correctly, what was your deal? Well, I'll check it out in a minute. Alright, so Baker was somewhere over here.
Able here. We're lost. Well, we can see a road 1 kilometers north of us.
Okay. Well, that doesn't help me very much. Alright, let's see. Deploy the reserves. Deploy reserves. Oh, deploy infantry reserve.
HQ, here's reserve infantry coming right up. Infantry company reporting for duty. We'll be easy. Someone find us? Someone dropped the map. Easy here. We're lost, but we can see a road 1 kilometers north of us.
Okay, so both Easy and Able Company are lost. How long do we have to the tanks get here? 8 minutes. Okay. So, let's look at the map. The problem is, it's hard to coordinate an attack if all of my guys are scattered everywhere. We don't get our reinforcements until, well, we get our infantry reinforcements in 5 minutes, but we don't get the tanks until we take the crossroads, which, well, I'm going to need multiple guys. I'm going to need at least 2 units to do that, to have an advantage. So, we know that there is an enemy force here. I don't know what kind, but there is one. So, let's see. We know there's an enemy presence at the crossroad, so we are going to have to take it. At the same time, Val Guarnera is also our primary objective. It needs to be taken, and we need to take it fast before the tanks get here. In a perfect world, I would be able to take the town, then get my guys into the hills so we could have a defensive position. But, yeah, it doesn't work out that way. So, I think what we're going to do is, again, we're pushing it, but I think I can make it work. What we're going to do is we're going to have Easy, depending on where they are, Easy, who are the mountaineers who can cross mountains really quickly, we'll have them rally up with Baker. From there, Easy and Baker Company move to the mountains to watch out for where the tanks are coming from. And from there, they'll guard the pass. Hopefully it's, like they say, this one. So we'll guard the pass here. So Mike 4 and Mike 5. We guard the pass, and then that gives us a little extra time to clear the crossroads, get the tanks, and head into Val Guarnera. Simple, right? Right? Yeah, who am I kidding? This is gonna be close. All right. Yeah, everyone's lost. That's war in general. Confusion reigns. All right. That's what it even says in the briefing. Where was it? Well, it said in that tutorial, confusion reigns tonight. All right. Able, move north.
Able here. Moving north.
Easy, move north.
Easy here. Roger, heading to the north.
I want to see where they are first, and then I can move them around. All right. Start mission.
Q here. Affirmative. Moving into position. Easy here. We're not lost anymore. We're able here. Oh, so that's where we are. We're actually at 6.
Able, move to Foxtrot 7.
Able here. That's the
Easy, move to Mike 8.
Easy here. Roger, moving to Mike 8. Baker here.
There they are.
Are we glad to see you guys here at November 7?
Easy. Hold on. Easy, move to Mike 5.
Easy here. Mike 5. It is.
Baker, move to Mike 4.
Baker here. Headed to Mike 4. Able here. We're here at Foxtrot 7. Easy here. We've arrived at Mike 5.
Easy, dig in.
Easy here. Grab your shovels, boys. We're digging in.
Okay. Able, move to Delta 8.
Able here. Moving to grid Delta 8.
Gotta flank this position, so...
Baker here. You're here at Mike 4.
Baker, dig in.
Able here. Spotted infantry at crossroads.
Baker, dig in. Baker, dig in.
Baker here. Take these, boys. It might save your life.
Alright, so we got the infantry unit, and we know there's an anti-tank unit there, too.
Able here. Arrived at Delta 8.
Able, move to Bravo 8.
Able here. Roger. Moving to Bravo 8. Easy here. We're done digging. Use a break.
Okay. Now I just gotta wait on my reinforcements. Because attacking right now is not a good idea. I need that advantage. Oh, God. What the hell?
Get down! We're being shelled from an unknown position!
I know where...
We're here at Bravo 8.
I know where it is. Able, move to Bravo 9.
Able here, alright. Heading to Bravo 9.
Gotta get out of that artillery. If they get hit again, we just have to go. Because I'm trying to keep them hidden until we can move in. We need those reinforcements.
We've arrived at Bravo 9.
Ah. I need those reinforcements. Time's a wasting.
Baker here. Foxholes are dug. Let's get cozy. Able here. We last saw Alligator at the crossroads.
Come on, come on. Fuck it, I gotta go. Able, move to location 2.
Able here. Roger. Heading to crossroads.
And hopefully these guys get here in time.
Able here. Movement is more difficult than anticipated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Able here. We can see anti-tank guns at crossroads.
There they are.
Able here. Spotted got eyes on Alligator at crossroads. Royal Evans and infantry here. Able here. Move some ammo up and get them.
Charlie, report status.
Charlie here. We're lost, but we can see a road 1. KM north.
Charlie, move north.
Charlie here. Got it. Moving north. Charlie here. We're not lost anymore.
Charlie, move to crossroads.
Able here. Able, get out here.
Able, retreat.
Able here. Don't need to tell us twice.
Charlie, move to Foxtrot 6.
Charlie here. All right. heading to grid. Foxtrot 6. Able here. I think that's everyone. We've assembled at Bravo 9.
All right. Charlie, move to Crossroads. Charlie, move to location 2.
Charlie here.
Abel, move to location 2.
Able here. Moving out to Crossroads. They'll be expecting us.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
Charlie here. It's a 10-fold outing. Heavy fire on them.
Need to flank him. Come on, flank him. Come on, drive him off. We need those tanks.
Charlie here. The unit has been wiped out.
Come on, drive him back. Abel, move to location 2.
A bit busy here. Charlie here. Too much heat. Just left. Second platoon, maintain suppressive fire. They're running with their tails between their legs.
Oh, thank God.
We've won this engagement.
Good. Take the Crossroads.
Able here. Crossroads is ours now.
Okay, can we get those tanks, please? Oh, 20 seconds. Are you serious? You're gonna make me wait? Ah, shit. What?
Charlie here. We've regrouped at Foxtrot 6 and are awaiting orders.
Yeah, okay.
HQ here. Intel reports the enemy has captured
What?
Crossroads.
I'm at the Crossroads. Abel, move to location 2.
Able here. Moving out 10. Reporting in. School time. Dog. We're ready. Yeah. Enemies in the open. Take them.
Dog, move to location 2.
Dog here. Preparing to assault. Crossroads. Baker here. Shot eyes. Fire it. And where that came from? Able here. Baker here. We'll engage. Stand by. 4. In combat again. 10. F. On turn 4. We're dog here. We've arrived at Easy here. Everyone take your targets, but hold fire. Rifle, front point to temple loading position.
Abel, move to Echo 5.
Able here. Moving to grid. Echo 5.
It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart.
Get the last of back. Able here. Spotted alligator at Charlie 4. Heading southeast. Charlie here. Got eyes on fair. At Dog 3.
Dog, move to location 1.
Dog here. Safe from.
Abel, move to location 2.
Well, Able here. Roger. Garrisoning movement is more difficult than anticipated. Able here. Take cover behind the tank. I want fire material and gas. Charlie here. Lost sight of fair. Last speed. At Dog. Heading forward. Able here. That's right. Run, you coward.
Abel, move to location 2.
Able here. Garrisoning crossroads.
Dog, move to location 1.
Dog.
Charlie, move to location 1.
Charlie here. Count on us to capture Belflanera.
Abel, dig in. Abel, dig in.
Able here. Patrol. Baker here. Enemy Panthers holding back.
Nice. Nice job, guys.
Charlie here. Spotted there at Hotel 2. Charlie here. There. Engaging enemy. Charlie here. We've completely destroyed an enemy company.
Nice. All right. Charlie, move to location 1.
Charlie here.
Dog, move to location 1.
Dog here. Stay frosty, everyone. Heading to Valguamera. Charlie here. We captured Valguamera.
Charlie, dig in.
Charlie here. Grab your shovels, boys. We're taking it. Dog here. You're able here. We can see. Hope you fought over enough to keep us alive. Baker here. We last saw Cheetah and up hungry.
Dog, dig in. Dog, dig in. Dog, dig in. Oh, wait, they can't dig in. They're tanks. Duh.
Baker here. We spotted Cheetah and November 1 heading west.
Alright, they're coming this way, huh? Alright, bring it. Get ready to move. We'll flank them as soon as we spot them.
Baker here. We lost sight of Cheetah. They were last seen and people here got eyes on Alligator at Delta 4 heading east.
East. Oh, they're gonna try to flank us. What's up?
Charlie here. We're done digging. Do the break. People here. We can no longer see Alligator. They were last seen at Echo 4 heading east. Baker here. We last saw Cheetah and Lima 1 heading west. Dog here. Keep your hand down and stay away from the
Easy. Move to Lima 3.
Easy here. Lima 3.
Flank
heading.
those tanks. Blow them away.
Charlie here. Got eyes on Alligator at goal. Heading right for us.
Abel, move to Foxtrot 5.
Cable here. Roger. Moving to Foxtrot 5. Easy here. Lay it to them. Charlie here. No good. It's no good.
Hang on, boys.
Time's almost up. Remember, easy here. Okay, they've been raised. Lighten them up. Dog here. BBC. Alligator. Oh no.
Abel, move to Golf 4.
People here. Headed to Golf 4.
Baker, move to location 1.
Baker here. We'll hold Valguamera. 4 easy here. Got a pistol on. Cheetah. Have him. Dog here. We're running close to home. Hey. Charlie here. Everyone, shut up and calm down. Sorry about that. We're at Kilo 5. Able here. That's the last we'll see of those enemy infantry.
Charlie, move to location 2.
Charlie here. Garrisoning Crossroads.
Abel, move to location 1.
Able here. Roger. Garrisoning Valguanera.
Okay. Charlie got the piss kicked out of him. But we beat up those tanks.
Easy here. You can no longer see Cheetah. Your last seen at Pike 5. Heading home. East.
Oh, they're running. Okay. Baker, move to Lima 4.
Baker here. Headed to Lima.
Easy, move to Lima 5.
Easy here. Moving to Greg. Lima 5. Able here. Lima 5. Charlie here. We're here at Crossroads.
Baker, move to Mike 4.
Baker here.
Easy, move to Mike 5.
Easy here. All right, head to Greg. Mike 5. Easy here. We've engaged enemy. Take up some rest.
Baker, move to November 5.
Baker here. Able here. That's right. Run! The war won't last much longer with battles like that.
There we go.
Your time is up and the operation is over. All units sign up.
Alright, so we had one infantry unit.
Hurry. I'm not sure anyone's going to survive this war. Baker here. Got a light meeting. Nothing too serious. Charlie here. More than half the unit are casualties. Doc here. Those damn replacements. Keep getting killed. Easy here. That was a tough battle. but we're still combat ready.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of our guys got beat up, but we drove them off, which is good. Yeah, I lost over 31% casualties, but that said, we wiped, like, they took 94% casualties. And of course, the medal for this one, I would give it to the, no offense to you, Mel, I would give it to the tankers, but I had the Edmonton infantry running all over the place, and they still didn't get killed, so the medal goes to them. That said, the Queen's Dragon Guard will be seeing more service, so, because they're a veteran unit now, so, alright. Well done, boys. Well done. Mountain Boys, July 18th, 1943. Due to the superior defensive position at Valguanera, this leg of the Sicilian invasion proved tough for Canadian troops. The troops' climbing training was invaluable here, as many defensive obstacles would require the scaling of a cliff or a heavy climb in order to maneuver around enemy forces. So much so that the enemy referred to the Canadian forces as Mountain Boys, believing they were fighting highly trained mountain troops. Nah, just Canadians. Some cool pictures. Alright, next. Yeah. Free play. Thank you for the hydrate. Alright. Battle of Leonforte. A number of fortress towns must be captured. Linking these towns are windy, dusty roads littered with minefields. Use engineers to clear paths through minefields to enemy-held towns. And pound the defenders into submission with artillery. Casualty report. Okay, so far in these missions, I've lost 64 KIA and 27 missing in action. Ugh. Alright. Let's go. July 21st, 1943. Leonforte, Sicily. Yeah, I just looked at the casualties. Thanks for reminding me. God. Welcome to Asoro, Leonforte, and Nisoria. 3 towns, Mount Asoro centrally located, hilly, sunny, and agriculture. The 3 settlements are located in the province of Enna, in Sicily. Completely landlocked, the province relies on agriculture as its main source of industry. The terrain is hilly and sunny, Mount Asoro being a central landmark. The dispatch riders. These guys. The dispatch riders were messengers who rode around on motorcycles and got to carry Tommy guns with them. Because it was too dangerous. Like, if you had to send 1 or 2 guys, best to send them on motorcycles and give them a Thompson so they can handle themselves. And of course, they had to repair and tend to their own vehicles, so yeah. These guys were basically, well, I call them crazy. They basically rode motorcycles around to deliver messages alone. So, alright, what do we got? Our next objectives are the fortified hill towns of Asoro, Leonforte, and Nisoria. Asoro features an ancient castle sitting atop a 1,000-foot cliff. Oh yes. Leonforte is a medieval town perched a high hillside overlooking the approaching roads. Atop a high hillside. I think there's a typo there. Expect the fortifications to be formidable. We will require tanks to take the towns. However, tank movement is restricted due to rough terrain. The area is also littered with minefields. Engineers can be used to clear mines from the roads, have them move in front of your forces, and use your artillery to pound the defended towns whilst attacking with both infantry and tanks. Leon Forte is the main objective, however, it will be the most well defended. If it cannot be taken, instead take both Osoro and Nisoria. Remember, every objective has a human cost, and some are not worth pursuing. You do not need to achieve all objectives to win. And I took that personally. Oh yes, Cheshire, this is indeed going to be an uphill battle. Enemy strength, 2 to 400 light infantry. These troops are well trained and are the equal of ours. Do not underestimate them. By the way, this is bullshit. Just 2 to 400 guys. That means 2 to 4 infantry units. Bullshit. There's going to be more guys here. Even if this is a heavily fortified area, there'll be more than this many. There'll be more. Each town will be garrisoned, and enemies allowed to retreat back will augment the defense of remaining towns, making it harder at the end. Both roads and surrounding areas are heavily mined. Advice: move forward with your engineers to clear the minefields from the road. They will automatically start clearing them. Tanks move extremely slowly uphill and on rough terrain, so stick to the roads. The enemy is well entrenched. You will need to use combined arms to its utmost. Launch an artillery barrage whilst attacking head-on with tanks and flanking with infantry. Keep your artillery firing until the defenders flee. Alright. So, hold Osoro, hold Leon Forte, hold Nisoria. Oh, God. Okay, I wish I knew where we were starting. Damn. Alright. Well, because again, I don't know where we're starting, so I don't know how to make my plan up. We'll have to make our plan once I see the map. Alright. Like Cheshire said, this is gonna be a literal uphill battle. So, all right, we can't bring all of our guys, but let's bring the veterans in. First up, the Highlander Infantry, who are going to be renamed to. Whoop, hold on. The Cataclysm Regiment. Whoop, let me spell it right, Zaruk. There we go. These guys have already seen enough shit, so this is the Cataclysm Regiment. And they are going to specialize in... I'm going to say... How'd y'all put... don't worry about it, Cataclysm. Alright, the Cataclysm Regiment specializes in defensive battle. So they will specialize in defensive training. Oh, hold on. Yep. So I'm definitely going to want them for defensive operations. Next up, the Highlander Infantry. Let's see. This is another defensive unit, but I'm going to augment their combat ability so they don't have that much of a damage penalty. All right. The Royal Canadian Regiment, the popular guys. You guys are going to be an offensive unit. You've got high morale, so you're going to go on the attack a lot more often. These guys are still weak, so I'm not going to buff them up yet. Let's see. All right, we have a tank unit. These are the Fort Garry horse tanks, starting with 6 vehicles. Let's see. They're going to be our tank unit because the Queen's Dragon Guard needs to rest. Let's see. The Royal Canadian Engineers and the... Let's see. And the 1st Field Company Engineers. These are going to be our guys, our starting engineers anyway, which I'm going to name to the Cheshire Brigade. Cheshire, these are your engineers, the aggressive ones. Keep moving forward. They gain 30% damage, but they lose 40 defense from landmarks. Their job is to clear obstacles, not take cover somewhere. They go. So, the Cheshire Brigade, which will be our starting engineer unit. Next up, our infantry unit. We are going to call upon the Cataclysm Regiment, because I do want them here just for defense. Well, they've got good defense, and they have good damage, so we're going to call them in. As for our artillery, we have the Royal Canadian Artillery. Come on, lads, we're almost there. Gains 40% movement speed and loses sight range. But who cares about that? They're an artillery unit. So getting them around is great. What am I going to name you guys? Let's see. I think... okay, I've got an idea. Let's see. There we go. The ADATS Regiment. Anti-Dat Shit Regiment. Because anti-Dat Shit. Because when these guys attack, just anti-Dat Shit. Whatever you point at, they make it go away. So the ADATS Regiment. Alright. Next up, we're going to call upon Princess Patricia's light in... Well, actually, no, they're not fast enough. Let's call on the Royal Canadian Regiment Infantry, which we are going to name the Eclipse Regiment. Actually, Eclipse, would you like this group to be called the Eclipse Regiment or the Zoroark Regiment? This is a high morale, high damage unit. So I'm going to have them on the front lines. You want them to be the Eclipse Regiment or the Zoroark Regiment? Because I just saw you peeking in here. So would you like them to be Eclipse Regiment or Zoroark Regiment? Okay, the Zoroark Regiment. Got it? The Zoroark Regiment, which will be our, we're going to call... Oh, hello, Fountain Stranger. Thank you for the bitty bites. All right, the Zoroark Regiment is our reserves. We call them in when we need... We're probably going to call them in at the start, but we also call them in if we need them. Personality. Personality basically is a little stat about them, Cheshire. So, like, for example, the Zoroark Regiment is popular. A break? Why, yes, what a splendid idea. They gain 30% morale, but they lose 30% movement speed. But I've also upgraded them, so sure, they're slower than most infantry regiments, but they do more damage, and they have way higher morale. So they will be... It's a lot harder to break them. Alright, so... Next up is we're going to deploy the West Nova Scotia Infantry. Their personality is superstitious. Sheep are blocking the road. Again, unlucky events happen more often, but they gain 15% more damage. So, we will be deploying them. I think I'm going to... Let me see. I need a name to remember what they can do. Oh, I got it. The Try Again Regiment. Because of their bad luck. The Try Again Regiment. There we go. Alright, let's see. And now we got to get one more engineer unit. And we have the Royal Canadian Engineers. Victory favors the bold. They gain 40% movement speed, but they lose 40 defense. Oh, God, that's awful. Like, that is bad. Hey, Caleb, what's up? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, too. You're actually just in time, Caleb. I'm going to name a regiment after you. So, we have the Fort Gary Horse Tanks. Let's see. You are the... Let's see. I like the Sindar Dragon Regiment. That's actually pretty cool. I've named both of my tank regiments after dragons. Alright, the Sindar Dragon Regiment. They are reliable, which means better safe than sorry. Unlucky events never happen, but they lose 0.5 camouflage. That's fine, they're tanks. I don't expect them to stay camouflaged. Alright, and that leaves our reserve engineers, which are, well, shit, to be honest. They have no defense, which means they're going to get shot to pieces. But they move fast, so if we need to clear an area out quick, well, it'll be good to have them. So, let's see. Yeah, the Royal Canadian Engineers. Alright, so, let's go. Let's look at our map.
Engineers, reporting for duty. We'll be able. We're at Papa. 2. We got shovels and we got mines. Ready for some
Alright, let's take a look at what we got. Battle of Leonforte. Hold Asoro, hold Leonforte, and hold Nasoria. Okay. So, the briefing said that the roads are heavily mined. Now, it also said if the enemy pulls back, it'll make the battle more difficult. So, I would prefer it if we didn't let them get away. Unfortunately, we're not really in the position to do any flanking. So, I think what we're going to do... Let me call up the reserves. Well, at least one of them.
HQ here, deploying reserve infantry. Infantry, company, here! You can call us Fox. We're at Papa. 2, on our way to Oscar. 3, infantry, ready for the dirty work.
All right. So, I will send... Let me check my thing again. All right, so... Currently, the Cheshire Brigade and the Zoroark Regiment are on the battlefield. I will have the Cheshire Brigade engineers clear the path from where they are toward Asaro. I'm also...
HQ here, reserve engineers, coming right up.
Get me my other engineers.
Royal Canadian engineers, reporting in the call sign George. We're at Papa. 2, need something built or blown up?
All right.
Engineers, got you covered.
The Royal Canadian Engineers will take the south path from where they are to November 5, Lima 7, and work their way around. I'll also deploy the Cataclysm Regiment and probably another regiment to assist them. The plan is that I need to basically move around so we can basically flank these positions. If we can at least get to the plan is to get the tanks at least down here to Kilo 8. From here, they can take an easy path all the way to Leonforte. Meanwhile, any infantry units that I have can deploy north and assist the operation. So our infantry units will move here and around here and attack from the south and the east. We'll flank the city, or the town, take it, and from there, once we've secured it, we keep marching. If we time it correctly, that's the key, we have to time it correctly. If we time it correctly, we can stop the units from getting out of here, and then we can just simply swing around and meet up with the tanks to take Leonforte. From there, depending on how we look, if things look okay, then we may push on to Nasoria, but you never know. Again, the game even said it. Where is it? Yeah. Every objective has a human cost, and some are not worth pursuing. Honestly, the way I look at it is that if we're beaten up from taking these two positions, I'm not worrying about the last one. But if we're in good shape, then sure, we'll give it a shot. All right. Let me check what we got here. All right, the Cheshire Brigade, and Cheshire Brigade goes this way, goes southwest with, and we will take the Zoroark Regiment, who's already here. They're going southwest. The Royal Canadian Engineers, who I believe are, yep, the Royal Canadian Engineers, are going to head south, and I will send the Cataclysm Regiment and the Sindar Dragon Regiment with them. They will move south and hopefully get to at least India 9. From there, we send the infantry north, up over the mountains to assist the attack on Asoro. The Try Again Regiment will be deployed wherever they're needed. And as for the ADATS Regiment, well, that's artillery. And those guys can move 8 kilometers an hour, so they can be anywhere I need them. All right. So let me get something set up first. George, move to November 6.
George here. Roger, moving to November 6.
Abel, move to November 4.
Abel here. All right, integrate November 4.
Fox, move to Oscar 3. Move to Oscar 3.
Fox here, Oscar 3. It is.
All right. There. So we've got our units where they need to be. Start mission.
You heard the general. Move out.
Let's hope this works. The area is littered with hidden minefields.
Fox here. We've arrived at Oscar 3.
Minefields damage units moving through. Move engineers into a minefield to start clearing it. Yep.
Able here. We're here at November 4. George here. We've arrived at November 6.
George, move to Mike 6.
George here. Headed to Mike 6. We've started clearing the minefield. I want safe paths marked out ASAP.
There we go. Abel, move to Mike 4.
Able here. Moving to grid. Mike 4. Able here. We're here at Mike 4.
Abel, move to Lima 5.
Able here. All right, engineers. Spread out and start clearing this minefield.
Alright, wait for them to call out that they finished. Fox, move to November 4.
Fox here. All right. Heading to grid. Infantry company reporting for duty. Will be Baker. We're at Papa 1. Let's show him what we are made of.
Correct, Eclipse. That's how it works.
Baker here. You're here at November 3.
Alright, this is the Cataclysm Regiment that just showed up.
George here. This is a mine-free zone.
Good. George, move to Kilo 8.
George here. Kilo 8. It is. Able here. We've cleared the minefield. Awaiting orders.
Alright.
George here. We've arrived at Kilo 8.
George, move to India 9.
George here. Moving to Great India 9. Artillery here. You can call us. Charlie, we're at Papa 2. Fox here. We've arrived at November 4.
Charlie, move to Lima 2. Move to Lima 2.
Charlie here. Roger. Moving to Lima 2.
Or Lima, it's Lima, whatever. Abel, move to Kilo 5.
Able here. All right, integrate Kilo 5. Charlie here. We're here at Lima 2. George here. We Able here. Got eyes on infantry at Sorrel.
Abel, retreat.
Able here. We're combat engineers. So we turn prefer engineering.
Yep, let him pull back.
Able here. I think that's everyone. We've assembled at Lima 5.
Okay. Fox and Baker, move to Lima 4.
Fox here. Moving to grid Lima 4.
Alright. Ah. There we go.
Fox here. We're here at Lima 4.
Okay. Charlie, fire at location 3.
Charlie here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at India. Baker here. We've arrived at Lima 4. Charlie here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
Alright, when the tanks get here, I'm sending them south. Charlie, fire at location 3.
Charlie here.
Baker, Fox, move to location 3.
Fox here. Form up. We're attacking Asoro. Tanks reporting in as the call sign. Dog, we're at Papa 2.
Dog, move to India 9.
Dog here. Roger, moving to India 9.
Charlie, fire at location 3.
Able here. No, don't move and grab your rifles, boys.
Abel, retreat.
Able here.
Charlie, fire at location 3.
Charlie here. Thunder down on India 5. Fox here. We've won this engagement.
Nice. There we go.
Charlie here. Bombardment was on target.
Let's get in there.
Asoro is under new management.
Wonderful. Nice job, boys. Alright. So. George, move to Golf 8.
George here. All right, heading
Need to clear out the mines. Able, move to location 3.
Able here. Roger. Look here. We're off here. We've arrived at India. 9. Baker here. Got a visual on Alligator and Go 5. Heading west. George here. We've arrived at Go 8.
Problem is, if I get any closer, I'm going to start
Able
taking
here.
fire.
No longer see Alligator. Your last team at Gulf 5. Heading west.
Able, move to Gulf 5.
Able here. Gulf 5. It is.
Baker, Fox, move to Gulf 5.
Fox here. Moving to Grand Gulf 5. Able here. We spotted Alligator at Echo 6.
Bingo. There they are.
Baker. Fox here. We've arrived at Gulf 5.
Charlie, move to location 3.
Charlie here. We'll hold a Toro for ya.
Alright. Contact.
Able here. All right, engineers. Let's remind them what we're called combat engineers.
Drive them off.
Able here. Let us know where that came from.
Yep. Thought so. Alright. Dog, move to Gulf 8.
Dog here. Headed to Gulf 8. Baker here. We've lost visuals on Alligator. They were last seen at Delta 5, heading southwest. Charlie here. We're here at Toro.
Okay. George, move to Foxtrot 8.
George here. Moving to Great Foxtrot 8. George here. Got eyes on infantry at Leon Crossing.
Charlie, fire at location 2.
Charlie here. Roger. Dropping shell on Delta 7.
Baker, Fox, move to location 2.
Fox here.
Dog, move to location 2.
Dog here. You can count on us to capture the unfort. Charlie here. Forward observers report that. Dog here. We got solid enemy positions in the town. Fox here. Take this fight. Infantry. Stay behind the tanks and fan out once we enter the town.
Charlie, fire at location 2.
Charlie here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at Delta 7. Charlie here. We wiped out George here. That's the last of the package.
Nice. Nice job, boys.
Charlie here. Yeah! That was a direct hit.
Nice
Dog
job.
here. The unforked is ours now.
Easy, move to location 3.
Easy. Baker here. You can see Alligator and Delta 6.
Really? They're still alive.
Able here. I don't see any of them moving. George here. Last saw Bear at Curly 9. Heading southwest.
George, move to location 2.
George here. We'll hold Leon Crossing for ya. George here. We've arrived at Leon Crossing. Easy here. We've arrived at Asoro.
Alright. We're almost there. We're actually making good progress. I'm kind of surprised. Alright. Still, the road is going to be difficult. Baker, Fox, move to Delta 6.
Fox here. Heading to Delta 6.
Able, move to Charlie 5.
Able here. Roger. Moving to Charlie 5. Baker here. You're here at Delta 6. Fox here. We've arrived at Delta 6. George here. Able here. All position engineers. We've entered a hostile minefield.
Mine.
We'll start clearing it, but it'll take a while, and we can't do it while we're fighting. George here. Last saw Bear at Curly 9. Heading southwest.
Alright, well, we hold here till the engineers clear that minefield. Good thing we stopped. That could have been bad. Charlie, report status.
Charlie here. We're at Toro.
I meant how much ammunition do you guys have left? $11 barrages. Okay, they've got a lot more of them, but they will run out.
George here. Able here. This is a mine-free zone.
Good. Fox, Baker, move to Charlie 5.
Fox here, moving to Grand Charlie 5.
Easy, move to Echo 4.
Easy here, all right. Heading to Grand Echo 4.
Time for a flanking maneuver. If this works properly. Easy, move to Echo 2.
Easy here, moving to Grand Echo 2.
Worried about reinforcements? Yeah, same here, but we're digging it. We're doing pretty well, so we'll see how it goes.
Baker here, got eyes on here and Charlie 3.
What the fuck? How'd they get all the way up here?
Here, hold up. This looks like a minefield. How should we proceed?
Okay. Able, move to Foxtrot 4.
Charlie here, Foxtrot 4. It is.
No, Charlie, location 3. Move to location 3.
Charlie here, listening to Thor.
Able, move to Foxtrot 4.
Able here. All right, integrate Foxtrot 4.
Check those mines out.
Charlie here. We've arrived at Thoro. Dog here. We're at the Unfort. Baker here. You can see here and Charlie 3.
How did they sneak past us? Oh well. Able, move to Echo 2.
Able here. A2. Echo 2.
Said there was a minefield here. I don't see it. Able, move to Echo 4.
Able here. Roger, moving to Echo 4.
Huh.
Able here. We're here at Echo 4.
Okay. Able, move to Echo 2.
Able here. All right, integrate Echo 2.
Easy, move to Echo 4.
Easy here. Able here. We started clearing the minefield. I want Kate Path marked out ASAP.
There we go, we found it.
Easy here. We've arrived at Echo 4.
Dog, move to Delta 5.
Dog here. All right, integrate Delta 5.
We're just gonna throw everything at him if this works. Gotta clear the, but I gotta clear the, minefield first.
Dog here. We're here at Delta 5.
Once the mines are clear, we can get the Zoroark regiment into position, and then it's as simple as flanking from 2 different directions. And again, pummeling the whole place with every little bit of ammunition I got. So.
Able here. We've cleared the minefield. Awaiting orders.
Okay. Easy, move to Echo 2.
Easy here. Moving to Grand Echo 2. Able here. We can see here at Charlie 3.
Charlie, fire at Charlie 3.
Charlie here. Artillery fire. Easy here. Got a visual on infantry at Historia. Easy here. We've arrived at Echo 2. Charlie here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
Okay. Fox, Baker, Dog, Easy, move to location 1.
Baker. Fox here. Consider Historia to be ours. Fox here. I want every stone building in that town turned into rubble.
Charlie, fire at location 1.
Charlie here. Thunder down on Charlie 2. Dog here. We're engaged on Charlie. High. Distance high. Able here. Enemy infantry company is pouring out. Charlie here. I'm getting reports that did some real damage. Fox here. Raising the flag at Historia. Dog here. We're here at Historia. Baker here. We're at Historia. Easy here. We've lost visuals on Cheetah. They were last seen at Gulf 1. Heading east.
Okay, I see what they're doing.
Easy here. We're here.
Easy, move to Charlie. Oh no. Easy, move to location 3. Yeah, because I see that,
Baker here. We last saw here at Alpha 4 heading south.
Dog, move to location 2.
Dog here. Garrisoning the Unfort.
Abel, move to location 3.
Able here. We'll hold the Toro. Oh yeah.
Baker, Fox, dig in. Baker, dig in.
Baker here. Dog here. Arrived at the Unfort.
Fox, dig in.
Fox here. Foxholes coming right up.
This is good.
Dog here. We're at the Unfort. Easy here. Putting his stretchers here, and a few of the men have twisted their ankles. This will slow us down. We're here at Asoro. Able here. We're at Hotel 5. We're en route to Asoro.
This is good. We have all the positions. We just have to hold now.
Able here. We've arrived at Asoro. Easy here. We last saw Cheetah at home. 1. Heading east.
Why would they go east?
Baker here. We last saw here at Alpha 4 heading south.
Okay, so we wiped out...
Baker here. Foxholes are done. Let's get cozy.
Alright, 1 unit is dead.
Fox here. Hope these foxholes are enough to keep us alive.
Alright, 1 unit dead. But these other 2 units have scattered, and I don't know where they are, so that's why I spread the men out. The tanks are back at Leon Fort. I've got 2 infantry companies at Asoria, and Charlie Zoroark Regiment and the Cheshire Brigade are dug in at Asoro. So,
Easy here. We last saw Cheetah at home. 1 heading east. Baker here. We last saw here at Alpha 4 heading south.
well, I guess I wait then. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And here I was getting all frustrated or flustered about it. We hold all the positions and we push these guys out thanks to some well-placed artillery and the good use of some engineers. So, not too bad.
HQ here. The operation's nearly over.
I'm curious though, because there are no objectives they can get to win here. They have to attack us. So I'm surprised they haven't tried to like regroup and attack Nasoria from 2 different directions. Huh. Weird. Yeah, Cheshire, it does seem too easy. But then again, all of the areas are basically secured now, so what can they do? Yeah, we're basically done here, because they can't do anything.
Able here. It's a full-blown rout. The enemy's all running. HQ here. We're done here. Unit leaders report for debriefing.
Right.
Able here. Took some losses and we'll need some time to rest.
I counted 3 infantry units.
Baker here. That was a tough battle, but we were still combat ready. Charlie here. Artillery battery still operating. Where's our next target? Dog here. Took some losses and we'll need some time to rest.
Wow, we barely took any casualties. We only got 4 killed, 1 missing, and 16 wounded. Wow. Alright. I'm going to give... Let's see. I think I'm going to give the medal this time to the to our engineers in the Cheshire Brigade. They got shot at multiple times. So... Bum, bum, bum. Yep. They deserve that. Major victory. Death from Above, July 20th to the 25th. Thank you, Yoko. The Canadians were advancing northward from their victory at Val Guarnero when they encountered heavy resistance due to the defensive positioning of Mount Asoro. Mount Asoro is a cuesta, a large hill with one steep slope and one gentle slope, which is absolutely ideal for defensive positioning. With a summit at roughly 900 meters, the Allied forces had to disrupt the German position atop the mountain, as the enemy artillery was able to strike units over 6 kilometers away, making Allied movement futile during daylight. Nassoria played a supporting role, allowing supplied lines to the German defenders as well as a defensive location to retreat to. Let's see. Okay, but here's the thing. There was no artillery. We didn't take any artillery fire. So, like, if there was supposed to be artillery there, you guys didn't add it to the game. Like, I was expecting artillery, but okay. Alright, let's see. Corporal Leonard J. Tupper of the Loyal Edmonton Regiment, who received the military medal for his actions near Leon Fort. War correspondent Ross Monroe of the Canadian Press, typing a story. Private R.E. Hill repairing his universal carrier. Sicily battle comes to an end after 38 days. Wait a minute. The show goes on. The Garrison Theater plays host to an army show featuring men in drag. The first Canadian Army show gives a performance on a ship. Women dancing, construction of a tent stage. A woman introduces Unit E, a fight song. The showgirls are inspected by their commanding officer. A can-can number, and the players pack up in uniform. I'm sorry, what? Please show me this. I want to see this.
Hurry, 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 folks. It's showtime in the old Garrison Theater tonight. The house is jammed. Standing room only is the order of the day because Johnny Canuck gets a kick out of shows put on by fellow Canadians.
Isn't he a honey boy?
Wherever our troops go, there you will find one of the various concert parties or the Canadian Army show. Each unit is self-contained and can go into full dress operation 2 hours after arrival. Composed of service personnel, the concert parties carry on the best traditions of show business. Right under the guns of the enemy in Italy, they erect their theater. After hard fighting, troops can forget the war as they hear the merry songs and watch the snappy routines of the dancers. The demand for entertainment increased. The first Canadian Army show was formed in Canada. Overseas, it operates as 5 units. A strictly military organization, the units represent the sections of a company. Every show is a parade to these servicemen and women. The troops consider them the best parades anyone could be privileged to attend.
Hello, everybody. This is one of the 5 units of the 1st Canadian Army show overseas. For the next 90 minutes, we want you to lean back and relax and laugh with us. And now we have Unit E.
For Canada, we march along as we sing a song of freedom. Everyone's a real front fighter. In all the world there is one fighter. We unite to fight for liberty and victory on land and sea. There's a job that's got to be done, and we'll never give up the one. We'll never get our free. We'll never get our free. Here's a copy of our orders for the night. They say we must amuse the boys and give with all our might. To me, this seems a little strange. I'm from the older school. But though I don't quite understand, we must obey the rules.
Y'all are watching a piece of history right here. Remember, this is actual footage.
Still on parade, the cast must doff the grease paint and pack up. On every front, entertainment follows the army. The modern military troopers are carrying on, in smashing style, the old tradition. The show must go on.
Huh. How would you like that, to join up with the military and be part of an entertainment company? Like, that's actually pretty cool. You got to admit, like, again, even today, modern militaries have bands and performance groups. So, yeah, you could be in, like, again, the Marine Corps, the U.S. Marine Corps band. Just because you're a band member, you still know how to fight. Every Marine is a rifleman. And, for example, the YouTuber Josh Scorcher, for a time, I knew and chatted with him, like, years ago. But Josh said that even though he was a, musician in the band, he still had to use his rifle if need be. But yeah, the band would go all over the place. So yeah, it makes sense that if you're part of like a military band or military entertainment, you're going to go all over the place. Yeah, Cheshire, he did say that. And don't forget, if you want a good idea of what this looks like, go watch, the very first Captain America movie. That's what he was doing, USO stuff, like performances and stuff like that. It's to raise war bonds and to motivate the troops and stuff like that. So, so you know what I'm talking about, Cataclysm. All right, we're done in Sicily. 1943 to 44, Italy. The Battle of Ortona. The ruined city of Ortona, dubbed Little Stalingrad, has become a fortress. Rubble, machine guns, and snipers create deadly kill zones. The city must be isolated and taken. Well, this is going to be fun. We'll check our unit management when we get to the level. Alright, so this battle is actually really well known in the Italian campaign. It was a brutal fight. December 18th, 1943, Ortona, Italy. Welcome to Ortona. Location, Eastern Italy on the Adriatic coast. Features Aragon Castle, the Basilica of St. Thomas the Apostle, the Deepwater Port, and the beaches. Located at a strategic point on the Adriatic coast, it features a deepwater port, allowing it to act as a base for heavy wartime ships. It has two important historical structures: the Basilica of St. Thomas the Apostle, which houses several of his relics, and Aragon Castle, a massive defensive structure. After Aragon Castle, then functioning as a workshop and powder storage, was heavily damaged when hit repeatedly by bombs and grenades from both sides, causing the structure to explode and rain rubble everywhere. Well, that makes the historian in my heart weep. What do we got here? Victoria Cross is awarded to Major Paul Triquet, Montreal, for heroic actions in Italy. Was it awarded posthumously or did he live? Ha! A former company sergeant major, the wiry, mustached officer who rallied his men with cries of, "Never mind the Germans, they can't shoot straight," led his company in an attack on a little group of houses making up the settlement of Casa Berardi. Let's see. Well, doesn't say it was posthumously awarded, so he lived. Here it is, the story about him. Oh yeah, skiing party. Canadian armored units ski to the rescue of the snowbound British reconnaissance unit in the Apennine Mountains on the Adriatic front. Yeah, because in Italy, during the winter, it gets really snowy. So guys were skiing all over the place. Yeah, why not? Let's see what his Victoria Cross thing has to say. Never mind the Germans. They can't shoot straight. I kind of want to see this.
Canada's second winner of the Victoria Cross in this war is Major Paul Triquet of Montreal, a company commander in the Royal 22nd Regiment. Supported by tanks, he and his company were subjected to deadly fire of enemy machine guns and mortars as they attacked Casa Berardi. With all his officers and half his men casualties, he discovered that they were being surrounded. With a call that the only safe place is the objective, they pressed on. Major Triquet, 2 sergeants and 15 men reached Casa Berardi and fought off repeated counterattacks until relieved by their battalion. When asked about the award, Major Triquet replied, "I am glad for my unit and Canadians that we have the first Victoria Cross to be awarded in Italy."
And for those who don't know, the Victoria Cross is basically the British and Canadian version of the Medal of Honor. So, yeah. All right. Overview. Canadian and British forces pushed north along the eastern Adriatic coast into the Moro River Valley. Tacticians did not expect the Germans to make a stand in the moderately sized city of Ortona. Rivers provided more defensible positions, and the city could be cut off if the highway north of it was seized. Unfortunately, the press made reference to Ortona as a miniature Stalingrad, thus making this strategically valueless city important for propaganda reasons. Ortona is heavily fortified with narrow streets covered in rubble, machine guns, and snipers. Do not attack it head on. The Germans may fall back later in the day, so move around and cut off their retreat via the highway to Torre Muccia. Naval artillery will arrive later to augment your final push into Ortona itself. Hold the new town and the old town, and -1 for every Axis unit that reaches Torre Muccia. So, cut off their retreat to the north, and then slowly move into the town. Yeah, don't attack it head on, it said. Okay. Alright. Intel report. A battalion of Fallschirmjäger. Oh, fuck. Well then. A battalion of Fallschirmjäger. Snipers, artillery, and anti-tank guns. Ortona will be heavily defended. There are reports of enemy snipers roving the surrounding countryside. Additionally, there's an enemy artillery battery outside the city that may be vulnerable. Use scouts to destroy the snipers, and move around Ortona and capture Torre Muccia to cut off the enemy's retreat later. Taking Ortona will be difficult until naval artillery arrives. Your anti-tank guns can bombard enemy positions. Yeah, head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. You're right, Mel. Except, we're not going to do that. Especially with a battalion of Fallschirmjäger. Fuck that. Absolutely not. Those Fallschirmjägers will kill us. So, we can't deploy any tanks. However, we're going to need to block that position. So, depending on where we deploy from, we'll basically have to move quick from I want to take San Leonardo, and from there we can move north and get to Torre Muccia. If we haven't used them, we're probably going to make use of that rugged infantry company that can climb mountains really quickly. Getting them here will be easy if we can get them across the mountains. But again, we got to be quick. As for the snipers, they're probably, I'm going to guess, they're probably up in the mountains over here. Because these would have the best sight lines. So we're going to have to send our scouts through the mountains. As for the artillery, it said it was outside the city. So I'm going to guess either here in San Leonardo, or on this hill right here. That's where I'd put it. And they do have anti-tank guns. Alright, well, we don't want them getting away, so Let's see. Speed is the key. Speed is key here. I need my guys to move quickly. So we are going to bring in the Highlander infantry because they're quick. We have the Royal... how do I even say that? Royal 22nd 22E? What is, there's a chick over the E, so like... Or is that an ampersand? I don't know how you say it. What are those? You mean the Fallschirmjäger? Cheshire Fallschirmjäger are German paratroopers. They are the elite of the elite. The Germans stopped having their Fallschirmjägers jump out of planes after the invasion of Crete in 1940, but they still trained them anyway. Fallschirmjägers are scary motherfuckers. They are trained to hit fast, hit hard, and hit first. They are also, you know, ruthlessly drilled. They're given the best equipment, and unlike other German soldiers who, like, you know, who might surrender, you know, if pushed too hard, Fallschirmjägers don't care. Fallschirmjägers will fight until they're either dead or they can fight their way out. They were, like I said, they were given the best equipment. They had the best training. Oh, yeah, one more thing. They were not scared of anything. Literally part of Fallschirmjäger training, y'all can quote me on this, one part of Fallschirmjäger training was that you had to stand still, and when an officer told you, fall, you had to fall forward, like lean forward, and like, well, not lean, you had to flop forward onto your face and not stop yourself. Don't put your arms out, don't slow yourself, no, fall right on your face. And if you didn't fall right on your face without hesitation, you were kicked out of the Fallschirmjäger. They wanted men who were suicidally brave. Or suicidally stupid. Honestly, it's a little bit of both. You had to be crazy to be a Fallschirmjäger. But, yeah, they're scary. So when it says a battalion of them, yeah, no. Fighting them head on is a dumb idea. Yes, Yoko, I have seen A Bridge Too Far. And yes, Cheshire, pretty much trained by someone like Darth Vader. Yes. The Fallschirmjäger, yeah, basically yes. So again, a battalion of them? Yeah, no. It's better to pick them off as they make their way out. So, the Royal 22nd. No, you're going to be the Royal Mountain Regiment. Because you guys are fast and climb through the mountains. So, I don't care how tired you are. Get up that hill. Alright, so... I want to give them some defense training because I want them to be able to get to the, like I said, I want them to be able to get to the town and dig in. So, they're going to be our reserve. Scouts. Alright, we got two scout groups. The 14th Hussars, retreat over my dead body, gives 80% morale but refuses player-ordered retreats. No. Absolutely not. You will follow my orders. And the 4th Princess Louise Dragoon Guard Scouts. Oh, rugged. Yeah, you're in. You guys are in. I want guys who can climb the mountains quickly. Alright. So we'll send the Royal Mountain Regiment and the Louise Dragoon Guard, the Scouts, into the mountains so they can flank around and get to, what's it called? And get to Torre Muccia quickly. Meanwhile, the rest of our infantry and our anti-tank guns are going to have to take everything else. So, Royal Canadian Anti-Tank Regiment. Good lord, that's a big gun! What is that? I've never seen an anti-tank gun like that before. Good lord, I wish I could get a better look at that. Reliable. Better safe than sorry. Alright? And they have 7 barrages for ammo. So, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's better than nothing. So... Yep, you guys are it. Alright, so now I need to call in 2 more infantry units. Alright. Let's see. The Royal Winnipeg Rifles. Yeah, you guys are in. Let's go. Sneaky. So, and sneaky means, what was it? Taken by surprise. Gains 40% camouflage, but loses 30% movement speed. I'm not worried about that. You guys are not going to be the ones going to dig in over there. Yeah, that's not an anti-tank gun. That's an anti-dat shit. Yeah, no kidding. And cautious. Let's see. I really don't want to deploy these guys because... they lose 20% damage, and I kind of need damage, so... But these guys are slow, so... Well, Why not? Numbers matter, so numbers have a quality, quantity has a quality all of its own, so... And I can at least try to negate some of your damage, so... There, that helps a little bit. So... Let's see, trigger happy. Like, yeah, you guys need to do more damage, but I'm not sending you. There we go. Alright, let's go. This is the last mission for the night, so let's do it right.
Highlanders infantry here. You can call us Able. We're at India 14. We're in for a fight.
Alright. So, remember, the plan is that our reserves, which is the Mountain Regiment and the Dragoon Guards, are going to go north. My plan is to send them up over the mountains and get them over to Toramuchia quickly. From there, they'll dig in and we'll fight our way to them, hopefully getting there quickly enough. I don't know how many of our guys will get there, but we need to get as many as we can to Toramuchia and dig in because we're going to have to fight off that attack. The good news is, if we can get there quickly enough and dig in, we'll buy enough time for for our naval artillery to show up. So, that's good. Deploy scout reserves. Deploy scout reserve. All right. Deploy reserves. Scout. Oh, okay, fine.
Deploying reserve, scout, reserve infantry. Coming right up. 4th Princess Louise Dragoon Guard Infantry Company reporting for duty. We'll be yours. We're at India. 14. No time like the present.
All right. We've got to cross the... Scouts can spot camouflage enemies using the hunt down and destroy enemy snipers. You may have to order units to move in the direction you think the hidden enemy is. Yep. So... Let's see. Alright. Fox and George move to Foxtrot 11.
George heading to Foxtrot 11. Fox here. We can see snipers at Echo 11.
Wait, why is the mission starting? I haven't done anything. What's going on? I haven't hit the start button. Why is the mission starting? What's happening? I've broken the time barrier. What's happening?
Right away, sir.
Yeah, let's just start.
We found them! There! Snipers! That's all right! Enemy snipers eliminated! Good riddance!
Alright, we got one of them. Alright. Able, move to Foxtrot 11.
Able here, alright.
Fox and George, move to Bravo 11.
George heading to Bravo 11.
Well, that helped. I don't know what happened, but yeah, surprise. Zawaldo, I broke the time barrier. Okay. Fine by me. Alright, I'm gonna need reinforcements.
Able here. Arrived at Foxtrot 11.
Alright, the scouts are here.
Fox here. We're here. George, we're at Delta 11. We're headed to Bravo 11.
Alright. Fox, move to Bravo 9.
Fox here. Moving to Grade Bravo 9.
George, move to Bravo 9.
George, roger. Moving to Bravo 9. Fox here. We can see infantry at San Leonardo.
Good.
Fox here. We've arrived at Bravo 9.
Alright, so we do know there's a unit in there. Good. We'll push them out. Wait, where's my reinforcements? Aren't I supposed to have another infantry unit here by now? Oh, the timers are... Oh, okay. Got it.
George, we're here at Bravo 9.
Alright. Fox and George, move to Bravo 5.
George, Bravo 5. Get in.
I need my reinforcements to hurry up and show up. The timer started early, so there it is. Here they are. Right on time.
Royal Winnipeg Rifles Infantry Battalion. Here, you can call us Baker. We're at Lima 40. Everyone be careful, and let's get the job done.
Hold on, pause. Baker is an infantry battalion. Battalions consist of 4 companies and deal more damage and have higher morale than infantry companies. Okay? Hold on. Let me check that. Let's see. Sir, they have higher damage and... Okay. Got it. Alright, what are the reinforcements I'm expecting? Okay. Right. Alright. Well. Okay, then the battalion... We'll send the battalion north to take Ortona when the time's right. For now, though, I want to wait on the anti-tank guns to get here so we can do some damage over here, take San Leonardo, and then close in from the right, from the left. But we have a battalion, which is going to be really helpful.
Boss here. Arrived at Bravo. Hi. Baker here. You're here at Lima 10.
Alright, hold there.
George, we're at Bravo 5.
Fox and George move to Charlie 3.
George, moving to Grid Charlie 3.
Almost there. How long for the anti-tank guns? Okay, another minute.
Boss here. We're here at Charlie 3. George, we've arrived at Charlie 3.
George, move to location 2.
George, consider Torre Lucia to be ours.
Fox, move to Foxtrot 3.
Fox here. Roger, moving to Foxtrot 3.
We'll be able to see the town.
Anti-tank gun. Reporting in.
Heads up.
We captured Torre Lucia.
Charlie, move to Foxtrot 11.
Charlie here. All right. Fox here. We spotted artillery at Hotel 3.
Artillery, you say. George, move to Hotel 3.
George, Hotel 3.
Fox, move to Hotel Golf 3.
Fox here. Headed to Golf 3. Fox here. Enemy artillery in range. Time for some payback.
Yeah, kill the artillery. Charlie, bombard location 1. Charlie, barrage location 1.
Charlie here. 418 Prince Edward Institute. Reporting for duty. We'll be dogs. We're at
Abel, move to location 1.
Able here. Count on us to capture San Leonardo.
Dog, move to location 1.
Dog here. Moving out to San Leonardo. They'll be expecting us.
George, move to location 2.
George, garrisoning Torre.
Fox, move to Foxtrot 3.
Fox here. Moving to Greg. Foxtrot 3.
Charlie, barrage location 1.
Foxtrot 3.
Charlie, fire barrage location 1.
Charlie here. Artillery firing at Echo. Charlie here. Bombardment was on target.
George, dig in. Dig in. Well, George, dig in. There we go. Well, okay, never mind. I'll just tell him to do it myself.
George, grab your shovel. They're running with their tails between their legs.
Nice. Let's get in there.
Dog here. San Leonardo is under new management. Able here. We're here at San Leonardo.
Charlie, move to India 9.
Charlie here. Fox here. You lost sight of air. Your last team at Charlie 5. Heading west.
Okay, scouts can't dig in. Great. Abel, dig in.
Hawk here. We can see air at Charlie. 5, heading east. Cable here. 60. Boys, this might save your life.
Alright. Dog and Baker, move to location 3.
Dog here. Moving out to location 3. They'll be expecting us.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Charlie here. We've arrived at India 9.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 3.
Charlie, George, Hawk here. The enemy walked right into our path. We got him dead for running. Baker here. There, in the window. Suppress them. Charlie here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful.
Fox, move to location 2.
Hawk here. Will hold or Amukia. Hoya.
Charlie, barrage, location 3.
Charlie here. Roger. Dropping shells on Lima 7. Baker here. We've won this engagement.
Alright, move in, push him out.
Dog. Charlie here. Observers report that barrage was a miss. Baker here. Location 3 is ours now. Dog here. We lost sight of Dingo. They were last seen at Ortona Old Town. Hawk here. We lost visuals on air. They were last seen at North 5. Heading east. Dog here. We're here at location 3.
Okay. Charlie, move to location 4.
Charlie here. Roger. Moving to Hill. Hawk here. We lost air at North 5. Heading east.
Southeast. Okay, you're going to come for the hill. Alright. Charlie, move to location 3.
Charlie, here's the whole location 3 for you.
Okay. So they're going to have to start pulling out. Pulling out soon, anyway. And when they do, we can have the battalions march forward and get them in a pincer. For now, though, we need to wait, because it says don't attack it head on. Not yet. Yeah, you thought it was Jojo, but it was me, Zaruk! Alright.
Charlie here. We've arrived at location 3.
I don't know where... These two... Alright, let's get rid of this. They're dead. I don't know where Bear is. And I know Dingo is over here somewhere in the town. So... They've got artillery, too. We wiped out one artillery unit, but they said where are those shells coming from. So we know there's an artillery unit somewhere. Alright, we basically got them pinned in now. So they either have to push north... They're going to pull out eventually. But...
Hawk here. We lost air at North 5. Heading east.
Southeast. Where would they go? Like, to the hill? Like, okay, there's no one there, so... That's why I moved the anti-tank guns off of the hill. You got... How much more artillery... Okay, I don't know how many more barrages you guys have. Let me check. One, 2, okay, 3, 4. Alright, so they fired 4 barrages. How many do they have left? 3. Alright, well, we're going to save those until we need them. You guys can't stay there forever. You're going to have to pull out eventually. They probably went to the town. Maybe. That's a good estimation. Not a bad idea. Well, in about a short amount of time, we'll have about 2-3 minutes, we'll have naval support, which is good. At 2,000 hours, so 3 minutes. Because they said a battalion, so we could push, but I don't want to push too early and not be able to support them, because if we push now, the anti-tank guns are going to run out of shells, and we won't be able to call in enough artillery. And not to mention, if we push now, it may spook them, and they'll run north. And without the naval guns, there is no way that a unit of scouts and a company of infantry, even in a city, are going to be able to hold off a whole battalion. We need those naval guns. So, yeah, a good shower is always nice, right, Eclipse? All right. Patience. Patience is... Ow. Patience is a virtue. Let's just see what happens. Give me my pipe. I need something to take the edge off. Yeah, I can see holes here, which means they're dug in. So, yeah, those holes mean there's foxholes dug. So, yeah, attacking now is a bad idea. We're going to need naval gun support. Come on. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Dog, Baker, move to location 5.
Dog here. Moving out to Mortona Old Town. They'll be expecting us.
I'm sure.
Dog here. Get down! We're being south from an unknown position. Dog here. We can see infantry battalion. Streets are covered in machine guns. We started mouthfuls.
Easy. Fire at location 5.
Easy.
Charlie, fire at location 5.
4.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 5.
Charlie here. Bringing thunder down on Kilo here. Bad one ahead.
Easy, fire barrage at location 5.
Easy here. Charlie here. Barrage is up. Baker here. Right up in the tuning. Easy here. I'm getting a report. That did some real damage. Dog here. We're engaged at line 6 and are supported by Baker. We're firing on infantry battalion.
Easy, fire barrage at location 5.
Easy.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 5.
Charlie here. Artillery firing at Kilo 4-1. Barrage is remaining. Easy. Charlie here. Forward observers report that fire mission was successful. Dog here. We lost visuals on anti-tank guns. That's at Mortona Old Town.
Easy, fire barrage at location 5.
Easy.
Charlie, fire barrage at location 5.
Charlie here. Roger. Dropping shells on Kilo 4. Easy. Charlie here. That was a hit. Keep those coordinates coming.
No ammo left. Easy, fire barrage at location 5.
Easy here. Coordinates confirmed. Firing barrage at Kilo 4.
Abel, move to location 5.
Able here. Crossing everyone. Heading to Mortona. Easy here. I'm getting reports. That did some real damage.
Easy, sustain barrage. Location 5.
Easy here. Raining thunder down on Kilo 4. Well, grind them into dirt.
Dog, Baker, move to Lima 6.
Dog here. Roger. Heading to location 3. Baker here. We've started out to house behind me.
Easy, halt. Easy, cancel artillery.
Easy here. Canceling barrage. Dog here. Mortona Old Town. Baker, you're fighting. Go. Mortona Old Town. And there. At Mortona Old Town. And Falcon. At Mortona Old Town. Baker here. We're engaged. engaged at Ortona
Oh, God.
45. And dog in combat again.
Easy. Fire barrage at Juliet 3.
Easy here. Roger. Dropping shells on Juliet 3. Able to send the last of them back. Easy here. Bombardment claws and target. Able here. That's right. Run, you coward! Able here. Got a visual on there. Ortona dog here. We last saw Falcon at Juliet 2. Planting the flag at Ortona Old Town. Dog here. We last saw Dingo at Juliet 3. Heading north. Dog here. We last saw Eagle at Juliet 2.
Easy. Fire barrage at Juliet 2. Easy. Fire barrage at Juliet 2. Fire barrage at Juliet 2. Oh, okay, well, if you're not going to listen to me.
Get to cover! Where are those shells coming from?
Easy. Fire barrage at Juliet 2. Report status. Uh-oh. Easy. Report status. Did we lose the fucking ship? Easy. Report status. How do you lose a ship?
Able here. Take a few buildings and set up some strong points.
Easy. Report status. Hold on. Did we lose the ship? How is that even possible?
Get down! We're being shelled from an unknown position! Able here. We suffered moderate damage.
Able, Dog, Baker, move to Juliet 2. Able, Dog, Baker, move to India 2.
Dog here. Moving to grid India 2. Dog here. We're at 0. Got a visual on Dingo at India 2. Head right for it. Baker here. We're at
Baker, move to location 5.
Baker here. Garrisoning Ortona Old Town. Able here. We got too many wounded. Fall back.
Easy, report status. I need that artillery. What happened to the ship?
Baker here. Time to get a taste of HQ here. The enemy is desperate and is starting to pull all units back. Don't let them escape.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Baker here. We're engaged at Kilo 4 and R-45. Dog, we're fighting. Here and Ortona Old Town. Eagle and Ortona Old Town. Enemy. Dingo. That's the last movie of those. Dog here. Lock able here. I think that's everyone. We've assembled at Fight 6. Dog here. Lost sight of Falcon. They were at Juliet. Heading west. Dog here. Got eyes on Falcon. At India. Heading south. Dog here. No longer seeing Falcon. They were last seen at India 3. Heading northwest. Dog here. We've completely destroyed an enemy company. Able here. We wiped out an entire infantry company.
Good. Able, move to location 5.
Able here. Roger. Heading to Ortona Old Town.
Easy, report status.
Hawk here. Turn on and return fire! Hawk here. Turn on with their tails between their legs.
Good, we got them trapped. They tried to pull out and they didn't make it.
Baker here. We're engaged at 4. Assisted by Dog in combat again. Eagle and Ortona Old. Able here. We're at Ortona Old Town. We're running close to half strength. Able to rise. Ortona HQ here. Time almost up. Remember your objectives. Able here. I don't see any of them coming. I think those enemy infantry are too. Fox here. Got eyes on Falcon. At India.
Fox, move to India 1.
Fox here. Able here. We've won this engagement. Fox here. Remember your training. This is why we're here. Baker here. You're here at Fox here. Where's where that came from? We've completely destroyed. Dawn here. Spotted Eagle at Hotel 5.
Fox and George, move to location 2.
George, Roger. Garrisoning for a...
Baker, Dog, Abel, move to location 5.
Dawn here. Roger. Heading to Ortona Old Town.
That scared the shit out of me. What happened to our ship? Did it get blown up or did it leave? What's up?
George, we've arrived at Ore Lucia. Dawn here. We last saw Eagle.
Baker, Abel, Dog, dig in.
Dawn here. We've arrived at Ortona Old Town.
Baker, dig in. Well, Baker,
Dawn here.
dig in.
Hotel 5. Heading north.
Let him come. Let's see. Frickin' bot. Cataclysm, deal with that bot, please.
Fox here. Everyone hit your targets, but hold fire. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now!
Baker, Dog, move to Golf 3.
That's right. Run! The war won't last much longer with battles like that. HQ here. That's a wrap. All units dig in and wait till relieved.
Thank you. Alright, what did we...
Those damn replacements keep getting killed.
Alright. 1, 2...
Baker here. Got a light beating. Nothing too serious.
3 things of infantry.
Charlie here. Get in, take a scratch.
And 1 thing of snipers.
Dawn here. Took a few losses, but it could have been worse.
Let's see. 3 things of infantry, 1 thing of artillery, 1 anti-tank
Have
gun.
to give these guns a thorough cleaning after they cool down. Fox here took a few losses, but it could have been worse.
Yep.
George, that was a tough battle, but we're still combat ready.
Now, how do you like that? %88 casualties. All right, well, this award goes to the Scouts, who, if I could, I'd give a reward to both the Mountain Regiment and to the Scouts, because they're the ones who basically got in and held that position. So, but I'm going to give it to the Scouts. Well done, all. Well done, indeed. Oh. Soldiers under your command have been killed. Great. The ship, I checked, it ran out of ammunition. That's what happened. It ran out of ammunition. Basically, it's like a light gunboat, so it ran out of ammunition. The Royal Winnipeg Rifles, it's from that city, oh, really? Well then, that's cool. That's cool, Mels. That is cool. Anyway, so Lance Corporal Theodore McDonald. Okay. They don't give you enough space to do anything like dramatic. Oh, more? Okay. See. You want to know the dumb thing? Is that originally when I first played this game, I tried to type up these, like, amazing things, you know, to sound more human. But as more and more losses started coming in, it just devolved into, we regret to inform you of the loss of your son. Because there's just so many of them. Mel, they probably did say something, but I didn't hear it. Because, like, the anti-tank guns say we're out of shells, but I probably missed it. Mouse holing. Ortona was selected for its strategic location as a deep-water port. With access, the Allied forces could shorten their supply lines and pressure the interior of Europe. 3 regiments of Canadian troops battled a regiment of German paratroopers in hard-fought house-to-house fighting. In order to maintain safe cover, Canadians blasted holes in the walls of structures in their effort to fight house-to-house, termed mouse-holing. The battle was politicized, so both sides fought hard to give very little as national reputation was at stake. Troopers of the Governor's General's Horse Guards in an outdoor shop. 3 Rivers Regiment examining a German Panzer III. Disabled tank. Canadian Army tanks and infantry advance through the streets in Ortona. Sorting of mail for personnel of the Loyal Edmonton Regiment. Alright. The bells toll in Ortona. In Italy, CBC correspondent Peter Stursberg speaks of the destruction of St. Thomas the Apostle Cathedral and the loss of lives. A man rings a bell without a rope, and soldiers go to an Ortona church. All right, well, we're going to call it here for now, but let's see where we're going next week, because it's not over yet. Oh, no. The Gustav Line. Rome lies at the end of the Leary River Valley. Between it and us is a number of defensive lines that have repulsed attacks from British and Indian troops. The Canadians have been secretly transported across the mountains to help break the line. Tanks and artillery are used to aid Indian units in an all-out assault. Yes, it would be the Canadians who would break the Gustav Line in Italy and allow the Allied forces to push forward up into northern Italy. The Canadians would break the stalemate of the Italian campaign. So yeah, never forget that. But that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Like I said, we're coming back next week to do more. And this game not only has a map editor, but it even has online co-op, which I think is pretty cool. And again, this is an indie game. This was made by an independent team. That is amazing. Like, again, this is what I want to do on War Game Wednesday. So, with that, though, we are going to wrap up War Game Wednesday, but I do want to raid somebody. So, let's see who is available to raid. Let me see. But yeah, that's Radio General. And in the future, there's a game called Radio Pacific that's coming out, which allows you to command the entire Pacific campaign of World War II, which I will be playing when it comes out. So let's see, who is available to raid right now? Let me see here. You know what? They were here earlier. Let us go, let's see. Let's see. How about... Let's go raid, Let's go raid my buddy Punished Kane. He is playing Ninja Gaiden right now. I think that might be nice to surprise him. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go raid Punished Kane. So let me get this set up. But yes, we will be coming back to this game. Hello, camera? Okay, we will be coming back to this. I do want to finish it. All right. So, I'm going to start this raid. I hope I have been Zaruk Windcaller. I hope you have a wonderful night. Yeah, you too, Mel. I hope you all have a great night. I will see you all tomorrow for Uno, where I'm going to be playing with a bunch of other friends and VTubers. And remember, the memories you make in life, good and bad, make you who you are. Don't trade them for anything. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.